talk about, ask me questions, man. I
All
don't,
right,
you know,
I'm turning it
let's do
on.
it, man.
I'm turning it
Get
on.
in there. Get up in there.
Because I was gonna ask, like, I'm sure I was gonna ask if you listen to yourself in your in ears, or if you're specifically not listening to yourself in the monitors. Like, it feels like it would be one or the other. But
Yeah, for in-ears when we're like
yeah, when you're live, or
ripping.
yeah,
Yeah, when we're live. I mean the whole it's a weird thing. I guess it depends on the musician, but for the most
yeah,
part, vocalists always want to hear themselves
yeah,
in their in-ears because we have to make sure that we're performing,
yeah,
at the right BPM or the right,
yeah.
there's click in our ears and things like that. But the problem for me is, for I want to say 4 years, 3 to 4 years after my whole band got in-ear monitors, I didn't use them, and I didn't like the way I sounded. I thought it sounded really
Oh,
dry, and I
okay.
was like, "Ooh, like this is what streaming really sounds like. Like this is awful, right?" So I didn't like it, so I wouldn't wear them. But then my sound engineer didn't like me having wedges, the speakers that are on the stage that shoot out towards the
Yeah,
musician so they can hear what they're doing. So he didn't want me to have those either. So he took those away from me. And I didn't have in-ears, I didn't have wedges, so I didn't hear myself. All I could hear was the front of house, which is the speakers that are pushing it
yeah,
out to the crowd.
yeah.
So I'd be screaming really aggressive, really, really hard. And I would be understanding like what I sounded like from the front of house.
Yeah,
And I did that for a long time. And
but
like,
that ends up being could that end up being, I don't want to say detrimental, but then you're not like hearing your true voice. Maybe that's what you're
right.
describing. Like, you were used to that, and then you put in ears in, and you're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah. Yeah. So I put in ears in, and the
Oh,
next engineer, sound engineer that we had, his name's Chris. He's the best.
yeah,
Was like, hey man, like let's put these microphones that face the crowd to give you that ambient sound that you want.
yeah,
So and then we'll put a little reverb on your voice so it doesn't sound so dry and sticky. And then once we did that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I sound awesome. And then I was like super confident and I was like, do you know what I mean? So it's a
yeah,
whole different
yeah,
in-ears are just a different ball game, man. And yeah, I mean they're great. They're absolutely great.
yeah. I have part of why I was asked also, hi chat, hi friends. We were talking randomly offline, and then I'm like, oh, maybe we should just go online. Um, but yeah, I'm with Jake Lures from August Burns Red, and founder of Heart Support, and we're gonna just talk about random life stuff for a bit. Talk about maybe some music. Talk about Heart Support. Talk about you guys. And we just wanted to hang out. So yeah,
Yeah.
we talk about in ears. I kind of have to listen to. I'm used to hearing myself when I talk. Like, I can't really. It's weird for me to do this, because when I do the different, especially if I do like a like an oh, like an old lady voice. Sorry, if I'm trying to be an older person, I need to hear what it sounds like, right? Because I have to hear the
Yeah.
pitch shift to make sure I'm doing it right. And so now it's really weird to talk on a call without in-ear monitors because I'm so used to hearing myself
That's
talk.
amazing.
It's weird, but
That's hilarious.
it seems somewhat similar though, because you're trying to make sure, when you're doing your vocals, that it all comes together right. It sounds right. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when you get into that world and especially when it's such an important piece, foundational piece of performing is
yeah,
being able to hear everything and everybody's on a click and everybody's locked in. And I mean, you think about it, it's like people are coming to see a show. They want to be entertained, and they want to see something that took effort, like, can you imagine going to, like, see a band that you were super jazzed about, you paid $50 for the ticket, and, like, they didn't practice, the singer's not engaging, like, he does not
Yeah.
care, maybe he's drunk and sloppy, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, "Dang, dude, like, that's really underwhelming." You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
And
and so it's like,
not in tempo. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're all off, like, so it's just so important for us as a band to be like, "Man, like, we love our fans and, like, we take our jobs very seriously, and we wanna be as tight as we possibly can, like, we wanna sound like the record."
Yeah.
And that's really hard. We just did a tour, um, for a record called Rescue and Restore. It was like
Mhm.
a 10-year anniversary tour, and we're all in rehearsals, and, and I was like, "Dustin, can you scream this, this, and this for me?" Like, and he's like, "Nah, dude, like, I'm like, the bass parts for this particular section is so challenging." And I remember JB, there was a song called Count It All As Lost, and he's like, "Dude, I can't believe we wrote a song this progressive and annoying and frustrating because now
We
we
have
have
to
to
play
perform it."
it.
Yeah. And
Exactly. Yeah.
and we're like, "Damn it, dude, like, why did
Yeah.
we do this to ourselves?" And it's like, I mean, we were kids, we had no freaking idea,
Yeah.
that that was even possibility, but yeah, it's
That's funny.
like, in-ears are super crucial, man, it's important.
Sorry, I'm looking off camera for a second. I'm trying to log in. You said it would be okay to play some ABR music potentially. I don't know how
Yeah, I mean,
DMCA stuff works with. Do you guys own all of the? Is the label going to come after us, or is it chill?
uh, no, 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 the label's not gonna come after you.
Cool.
No,
I know
they
some
shouldn't.
bands.
Yeah, you should be good.
I don't know. It's totally fine if you don't, but I listened to a lot of Periphery, and I had um Misha from Periphery on a while ago, and they were like, "Yeah,
Oh, that's sweet.
unfortunately, we can't play the music on Twitch because the label or whoever it was, I'm gonna get the terms wrong, will end up like going after it."
Yeah, there's, like, certain it's really weird, and I think the way that it works is that the labels actually have a company that just flags it,
Ah, yes.
right? So
Hmm.
it's not necessarily that the label even, like, wants you to not listen to I'm the front man of the band, like, if I was like, "Hey, I want to listen to my own music right now as I'm having a talk about mental health and, like,
Right.
the Christmas holidays," like, they'd be like, "Yeah, man, do whatever you want," you know what I mean?
Sure.
But it's the company that they pay to, like, flag stuff, so I don't know, I mean, I think the Christmas carols are a pretty safe bet,
Sure.
if you wanted to, rip so Carol of the Bells I think was our first Christmas cover, that we covered for the tradition of, I think, us trying to come out with a Christmas carol every 2 years.
Yeah.
So Carol of the Bells was, like, the flagship, and it's so funny, like, sometimes we'll watch the NFL, and, like, they'll use the song or,
Oh,
um,
no way.
w yeah, American Dad used it,
Really?
um yeah, like, it's just kind of funny, like, sometimes I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, "Oh, I'm watching hockey," and all of a sudden it's like, "Carol of Bells," and I'm like, "Oh, I think I know that song," like,
I'm gonna.
and
I think I
we
can play
we
it
wrote
without
that.
you. Is it okay? Do you mind hearing it? Say if I think if I play it, it might come through your. Uh,
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, it
okay.
doesn't matter to me. Flurries, yeah, the last one are bangers.
Hopefully, it's not too
What up,
loud.
Pudding?
So I like Christmas and all that. Okay, I have it kind of quiet. Hopefully, it's not too
Okay.
loud for us to talk over. But I don't like a lot of Christmas music because this is the music I want to listen to. So I have this playing every Christmas for sure. So
Well, the reason why I'm not on any of it
yeah,
is because we know it's, like, a time for families to gather, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And it's like, you know, like you can have some ABR, a taste of ABR, but if you were to throw me on the songs, like I mean, I would just ruin it for all the grandparents and the straight-laced brothers and do you know what I mean? Like the concerned moms, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
would just ruin your Christmas. So it's
Yeah.
like let's just keep it clean, you know?
That's so funny. I'm gonna see if I can switch it to a different channel so I can turn it up or down based on what people want. But
Yeah, cool. You've got an amazing following here, man. Like all
They're-
these people.
they're
like,
super cool. I barely even talked to them yet. I've just been. Well, is it?
It's so awesome that you.
This isn't too loud for you or anything.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, you don't even hear it?
No, I don't hear it. We're
Oh yeah,
good.
because my audio system. Do you want to hear it, or are you okay if you don't hear it?
I mean, you know, it's not
You-
anything I haven't heard.
you know what it is. So.
I practice it on the bass guitar, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I got her on the back of my hand here.
Well, chat friends, welcome to I don't know, a special Kitboga August Burns Red Heart Support edition of the stream. Yeah, late night Kit. Normally I get a little bit more personal, a little bit more real and weird at night. You know, during the day we're calling scammers and like doing the thing. But tonight we wanted to just hang out and talk to you about life, talk to you about mental health stuff, talk to you about heart support, and sort of just go through life with you. I will be the first to say that I am in some ways I feel very unqualified to talk about most of this stuff. But those of you who have heard me talk about these things over the years, you know, my heart has always been in a place that is you're valuable and that you matter. You've heard me talk about heart support before, maybe not you, Jake, but the community. There were so many times when I was younger that I felt very alone, and I felt like nobody could understand me, that no one would want to talk to me. And you know, genuinely, these were years of my life where I was listening to some of your music too, and that was like part of what you know, helped me get through things. So it's kind of surreal having you here. But part of what I wanted to do tonight is try the best that I can to be there for you guys. Oh, jeez. In any way that I can. Just talking to you about what you're going through. You know, I might not have the best advice or any advice, but I can be someone who is here. And when I first heard about heart support, Jake, and I'd love to get your take on some of this, I think it was Dan and Casey who were streaming, and I immediately was like, I wish this was around when I was going through all that stuff, just to know that there's someone else who cares, and like a place that I could go, write on a wall, an anonymous forum, and say, guys, I'm really going through this stuff and I have no idea who to talk to. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Would love to hear a little bit about like why you started heart support, or kind of what's on your mind
Yeah.
for tonight. But yeah,
Absolutely, man. Well, I mean, like it's super cool when like worlds just align.
yeah,
You know, like it's so cool that you know you appreciated the music that I was producing and creating, and like on my own journey of ups and downs and life, you know what I mean? Like it's so funny that people go, man, I connect with music and it makes me feel this way.
yeah,
And then you get to the lyrics and it's like, man, like these lyrics are my anthem, or these lyrics is like, I'm gonna get these lyrics tattooed on me, or you know, whatever. And it's like, you have to understand, like I hope people get, because I'm a fan of music just as I am also an artist, you know, like that part of me that is you has never changed or left.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I am an artist and I create art, and my art has encourage other people, but like I'm still also a fan. And I still also connect to music, and I still
Yeah.
also, there are lyrics that resonate with me. And really what I think is so powerful about music is that it bridges this gap of one person's life to another person's life through emotion and feeling that is communicated through sound.
Mm.
And so when you read the lyrics of a band that wrote something heartfelt about loss of family, right? And that resonates with you. You're connecting with that actual person. They wrote those lyrics. Those lyrics mean the same to them as
Yeah.
they mean to you. You know what I mean? And like that was the connection that I saw. Like
Mm.
after shows, I would go to the barricade or the merch table and I would talk to fans and they'd be like, man, like your song, Redemption helped me forgive my father because he molested me as a kid. Or, hey man, your song Composure, where you talk about not giving up and like you have a crutch, you have a community, has kept me, sober for 6 months of heroin, right? Like in a
Jeez.
halfway
Yeah.
house. So you get these like really like super heavy, relatable experiences. And maybe I didn't write Redemption because my father molested me. Maybe I wrote it for another reason, but the experience, the feeling, the emotion is still there, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's the common ground. And so that's the power of music. And I was like, hold on a second. Like we have something really special here. Like I'm just a dude on a stage,
Yeah.
um, performing music that I created out of my own pain, suffering, joy, love, and desire. And now there's a lot of people in front of me who are receiving that and they're feeling something too, And so then we talk, and I realized that there's a lot of people in the world. I've traveled, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just trying to give you a scope of understanding, right?
Yeah.
Like I've traveled over 40 different countries, and there we're all the same. Like there's no like difference. We might look different, might dress different, we might talk different, we might not understand certain cultures and lifestyles differently, but like we for sure all feel something,
Yeah.
and we for sure like
Yep.
go through
Yeah.
experiences, so um it's something very special, and that's why I wanted to start Heart Support, because I realized that like these people need a home. When you're struggling, like you were saying, you felt like there wasn't really a place for you to be, where you had maybe the support that you needed, or maybe people that would understand you, or
Hmm.
you might have felt very just in a dark spot and space. And I think a lot of people do feel that way, but like traveling 40 different countries, having conversations about the power of music, I was like, I want to get, I want these people to know that there is something here for them, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
this community is real and it's alive. And that's why I started Heart Support, which is an
Yeah.
online community that is international. It's everywhere. You can go there, just heartsupport.com.
Hmm.
And there is what we call a support wall, where we have so many people just opening up about their issues, their struggles. And we one of the reasons why Kit and I wanted to have this live stream is because the holidays is not easy for people. It's a tough season. It's a tough time.
Yeah.
Um, and we wanted to just kind of have that conversation and share about Heart Support with you. And you can go there and you can be anonymous. You don't have to give your name, your age, or anything about you like that. But just open up and share and talk, and be able to kind of vent and release, and learn that there's a lot of other people out there that speak the same, that feel the same, that have similar experiences or similar struggles, or they have knowledge and wisdom. They have something to give back to you. You know, it's like, how many times have you been in a tough spot and you go to your friend, and you're like, dude, I'm struggling. Like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm not sure where to go. And they give you the best advice. And you're like, dang, thank you so much, man. I'm going to do that. You know? Or think of it this way. When we want to be educated, what do? We read a book on that particular topic or subject,
Sure.
right? So if you go and share your story and someone's experienced a similar story, it's like reading a book. It's like, oh, cool. Let's talk about your journey. Let me know about you. How did you get through this? What did you do?
Sure.
And learn
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You know, and grow.
Yeah, I feel like the more you can glean from other people who have been through stuff, it can be of so much value. I know. I mean, I'm still young, but as I've gotten older, I just remember even growing up and still today, I've always gravitated towards some of my like friends or like the people who I wanted to spend time with were almost always like way older because
Yeah, same.
they're like,
Same.
I mean, you have, I think there's this, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, that like, man, you've been through so much more, you know, so much more. You have all these more life experiences. Like, I want to hear your stories. I want to know what I want to glean from you, which is also, chat, why I think people have heard me talk about this before. I have this deep, it's this thing that I can't get out of my mind, is that if you wear glasses, you are smart, and if you have gray hair or white hair, I know, bro. Oh, and I think it's because growing up in these like younger years, I'm like, everyone who I was like learning from had glasses and like gray hair. And I was like, that means you're smart. So even today, I'm just like, if
That's what it
someone's
takes.
wearing, like, I want to wear I have pretty good vision, but I'm like, I almost like want to wear glasses just because I want to be smart looking. But anyway,
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny what we pick up as signals of
Yeah.
greatness or you know, better than? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like my
'Cause it's-
papa
Yeah.
was one of the most loving, wise-filled men I've ever met in my life. And I was a
Yeah.
little kid, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, my papa, like he's so smart, you know? And he had a I don't know what it's called, where he would shake.
Hmm.
But at breakfast, I remember being a kid, and I saw his hands as my nana was making eggs, and it would shake at the top, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then he would talk, and this is messed up. It's kind of weird or whatever, but like sometimes when I miss my papa, I'll just rest my hand and I'll just shake it
Yeah.
because it reminds me of his greatness and his wisdom and
Yeah.
like the first man that I knew that was a good man in my life shook his hand like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of funny how we, you know, take those things, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's wholesome in a weird. Yeah. Maybe it's a weird way or a weird example, but
Thing.
that's very. It makes a lot of sense. Especially having that connection with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, we've been just talking about random stuff. I mean, I think everything that you guys have been doing with heart support over the years has been awesome. Maybe we share a little bit more for those of you that are just now getting here, about like, I don't know, some of the stuff you guys are doing outside of the forum. If you
Yeah.
guys do want, by the way, I guess I should say, I think the plan is we'll talk a little bit about some heart support stuff, and
Yeah.
and maybe for another little bit here, and then maybe we'll just take some time and go through some people who have posted on the heart support wall, and if you want to in some way tag it, like at Kiboga or at or I don't know, some hashtag Kitboga or something. We'll try to go through some of those live on stream, and we'll just sort of, I don't know, go through life with people. But
Yeah.
what else? What
I
else
think
is
that's-
Heart Support up to these
I
days?
think that's great. So we have a lot of stuff going on these days, which is great because I think that that's our mission, right? Our mission
Yeah.
is to make an impact. If we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, it's not really going to help anything. I do want to say to the Ferelden hero that this is like online. So if you just go to heartsupport.com, and obviously you can communicate through English, you can make a post there and someone's going to respond to you. So we have tons of repliers. We call them repliers, and they're just regular people. They're just the normal person that wants to make an impact, share maybe their history, their story, right? And what we've realized is that we're not professionals. So that's a big disclaimer. Like, I'm not a professional therapist. We have professional therapists on our staff, but our volunteers are not professionals. And what we've realized is that that's actually kind of a good thing, because what you're doing is you're not going to someone with the expectation that they know everything, and you're going to connect with somebody who's just like you, who's just a friend, who's just a person who messes up, makes mistakes, they're broken. They're not going to sit there with a pen and paper and like not share about themselves, but want to know everything that you have to say and then write it all down on a piece of paper and make you feel awkward. The other thing is the idea that we have a deeper connection than just the support wall is what I'm very excited to share with your people, because the support wall is great, and it's a place for us all to connect and really open up and share. And it takes a lot for people to share. Like, it takes a lot for people to share something that they don't want to share.
Sure.
I can, we can do this, and I can talk about the things that I want to talk about right now. You know what I mean? And so I'm dictating. I still have the control.
Sure. Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
But for people to just go there and go, okay, it's going to be anonymous. And I'm actually going to share something that I've never shared. We have that happen too.
Yeah.
Where people.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I can imagine right now there are things that I could talk about or share that I probably would never like actually talk about or share online. Like in this setting, there's certainly things in my life that
absolutely not.
Yeah. There are certainly things on my mind that I probably wouldn't just casually chat about on a Kitboga stream. And yeah, I can. Yeah.
Right. But if you need that, if you need a place where you're like, hey, I actually know that it's going to be like such a healthy thing for me to just verbalize this.
Sure.
And it really is. Like, that's the first step for people to recognize that there's a problem, or they have a problem, right? Or that they need help, is just to verbalize it or to write it out. And there's a really great feeling when you do that, and then you wake up the next morning and you look at the replies, and there's like 7-8 replies. Or there's a few replies that have replied like in paragraphs on what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, man, like somebody took that time. Somebody actually cares. Somebody knows a little bit of what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? And that's to me, it's like a first step on a journey. And like, that's what I think, music does for us too. It's like, man, like it reminds us of this thing that's important to us. And so it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do with that? Where are we going to go with that? So the responders, the repliers for Heart Support, they're just people that want to help and give back and share their stories. However, we do have a continuing education program for them where they get a teaching class from a professional therapist. So if you wanted to volunteer for heart support, or just to understand the depth of it, like, these people have an opportunity to talk to a professional and be like, okay, well, these are some questions I have. Like,
Yeah.
I love sharing my story and I love talking to these people and helping them, but I get this question a lot and I don't really know how to respond to it. It's like, well, they can present that to, you know, a professional therapist
Yeah.
and kind of learn and grow about the skills of listening,
Hmm.
pretty much, right?
I mean,
Which is a powerful skill.
yeah, that seems really valuable too, because um if I'm honest, I find immense value in what you're doing, and I think even what we're gonna try to do here of just going through life with people. But there also is a part of me that feels very ill prepared and very, look, if I'm just being honest with everyone, that I feel like I'm not going to have the right words, or I'm not going, I have all these, a lot of memories and a lot of just watching heart support stream over the years, and of like, you know what, sometimes you just need, like, just what you just described, someone, you just knowing someone cares and knowing someone was there to listen. There were times in my life where that happened to me, and I think the people that did that for me don't even really know how much it meant. I think I shared this on stream a while ago, but there were some, days when, at my darkest and feeling the loneliest, there was a point where, uh, I'm thankfully enough, it was actually my dad. He just took me out for lunch one day, and I don't know if you ever got these vibes growing up, when whoever, like, your guardian is like, we need to go out to lunch, and you're like, uh-oh, I'm gonna get in trouble, right? Like, uh-oh, there's something bad is about to happen. Literally, he just took me out, and he had no agenda other than just like to be with me, because he knew that I was going through stuff. And at the time, that was like exactly what I needed. It was like one of the biggest things in my life, just that he did that. So anyway, I feel like in some ways that's what I'm hoping, in a small way, to help do tonight, is just be with some people. And like, that's a huge part of what your organization does. Got to move a couple things on the screen, but
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what it is, because some people don't have that, right?
Mhm.
Like, they don't have that opportunity, or they feel like they um, can't do it. And it's like, well, that's a tough spot for people when you feel like you've got all these people that care about you and love you, and you feel like none of them you can open up to. And like, that's kind of why heart support's there, because one of the things that we always say is, like, we're here to help the 3 out of 5 people that need help and need to talk about their mental health, and they don't, right? And it could be
Yeah.
maybe, professional help's like, it's too expensive, or I don't like the idea of that, or I went once before and it was really awkward. It's like, well, again, like, the idea is that you matter, right? Don't
Mhm.
don't you tell your fans
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, that's all this is about, is
Mhm.
like, hey man, like, I get that you feel uncomfortable, but like, what you need, or what maybe you deep down inside want, like, you deserve it. Like, you deserve to be helped. You have a beautiful Porsche, and the engine isn't getting, it's low on oil. So, like, we got to fill that up, like you've got to maintain yourself. You've got to, like, check in on the internals of who you are. I mean, we can all look cool and be cool and do cool stuff, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not fulfilling when you're low on gas and you're running out on empty. Like, what are we going to do with that? And so I feel like, we all need to work on our mental health and check in with ourselves and kind of challenge ourselves at times where it's like, man, like maybe this is a hang up in my life and I know it is, but I haven't really talked about it, because there's a couple examples I can give you and then we can talk more. But like, look at it like this. Like if your dad, for example, if your dad was verbally abusive to you, okay, and you were raised that way, well, you're going to know that that's to you, that's normalcy. Like that's normal because you were taught that to be normal because it was consistent and it built a construct in your life.
Sure.
So that's what you see, right? So then you meet this beautiful woman and you're like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I'm in love with you, right? And she's in love with you. You put a ring on it and you carry that same verbal abuse. You inflict fear on her to get her to submit to you, right? You make her scared. You do all the things that your dad did to your mom, right? And then you have kids, right? Like, now think of this. Think about you having that situation, getting married to that girl, and then going, I have a problem, but I don't want to go to a therapist. I don't want to pay for it, but I heard about heart support. I'm going to just talk about it. And then you get hooked into heart support and you start to get help through heart support, right? And go through a process where you understand that you didn't deserve that verbal abuse. Your father was dealing with his own broken pain and hurt. It wasn't even that he was a bad person. It was that he was a hurt person. You learn the process of forgiveness. You ask and go through that process of forgiveness with your wife. And then you have beautiful children. And guess what? They're not verbally abused. And you just changed a generation.
Sure. Yeah.
And a generation. And a generation. Like,
Sure.
This is why this work is so important to me. You understand? And like, this is why it's like, dude, if we can't meet you in the therapist like office, no problem. Like, can we meet you here through the power of music? And
yeah, it's crazy.
I don't mean to ramble, but
no. I think a lot about you brought up the You Matter thing, and in a way, part of why I think people matter is because you have this like untold amount of potential to, like that example you just gave. You have the ability to affect generations and generations of people. So many people that you're around, friends, family, coworkers, whatever it is, you have untold ability to affect all of that. And sometimes when I talk about it on stream, sometimes I feel crazy, or the people will joke like, all right, what the heck is Kit talking about? Because I'll just ramble for 30 minutes about it. But the more I think about those sorts of stories, like you said, a generation and a generation and a generation, and I mean that has untold. I feel like I keep saying untold, but kids who have kids who have kids, and all of a sudden it's this branching tree of people whose lives have been changed for the better, and that's nuts to think about. But
and think about this too. Let's just think about this for 1 second, and then we'll move on. Everybody's thinking about, well, I'm going to leave this as my legacy, or I'm going to make a bunch of money, or I'm going to vote for this guy because he aligns with me politically, right? The love and the impact that you can give by changing yourself means more than any money, any vote, you know what I mean, than you could come up with. It's like, because think about that. If we're talking about generations, well, what happens when you love your friend in the moment where they wanted to take their life? What did you just do, right? What happens if, like, you choose to give to a charity, or you create your own you know product that changes the world because you have a love for other people, and you're
Hmm.
not just, you know what I mean? Like, think of all the things that might change in your life that might
Yeah.
become so much more fuller of who you desire to be,
Yeah.
because you got help, because you
Yeah.
decided that you mattered, because you decided that I deserve something more and something
Hmm.
better. And if I'm going to make decisions in my life that are going to dictate where I go, I want to be healthy when I do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
100%.
so
Yeah.
let's do the work. And
Yeah.
guess what? Let's do the work with people that actually want to do the work with you. You're not having to pay anything. Like, nobody's trying to fight you. No one's trying to change who you are and tell you you got to vote for, blah blah blah, or,
Yeah.
like there's an opportunity here for growth. And that's what I kind of wanted to kind of climb into here.
Sure.
And then, like, maybe we could do some Q&A or something. But, Heart Support has teamed up with Beneath the Skin, which is another nonprofit that um, we've decided to merge together and do peer-to-peer mentorship. So what that is, it's a program where when people want to um, have a coach, basically, have a mentor, have somebody who's going to interact with them on a weekly basis and talk about the challenges of life, the dreams, aspirations, struggles, ups and downs, right? Because that's what life is. Not
Hmm.
all negative, it's not all bad, but it's not all, excitement and sunshine. But to have somebody to talk to once a week for an entire year, that's completely free. That's what Heart Support is now doing. Because one of the biggest things that I wanted to do for this year was I wanted to love deeper.
Yeah.
I wanted to have more community, but for the people that are like, hey man, this is this is something I really want to challenge myself on. This is something I really want help with. This is something that I need to walk with somebody on in my life, that they can just do that and sign up for free and have a mentor. I have a coach. We call him an executive coach because he leads my business
Yeah.
and my personal life, right?
Yeah.
But dude, this is better for me personally. I've loved this. And I think it's very therapeutic for my life. And we talk about, okay, how are you feeling right now? What are you feeling about the situation? How are you perceiving it? Okay. What's going on, And then there's other things where we talk about numbers and the gym and Heart Support and the band, right? But this is somebody that I have every week that I talk to for 1 hour, and I just go, hey man, like, I want to bounce this idea off of you. Like, my father's currently dying right now. One of his lungs has collapsed. His right heart doesn't work, and his kidneys are failing him. And
I'm so
that's a
sorry,
big deal
man.
for me.
Yeah.
It's okay, but that's a heavy thing for me to deal with because, I chose to go on tour and live in Pennsylvania, right? And so, like, I made a decision where I couldn't be near him and close to him and build relationships, and we didn't really have a great relationship to begin with. So now it's like, man, seeing that this is coming to an end,
Hmm.
but I can talk to him about that. I can talk to my coach about that and go, hey man, like, where can we talk about this? What would you do? And he talked about his relationship with his father and when his father passed away. And it was so nurturing for me. It was so
Sure. Yeah.
relieving for me to be like, cool, man, like, I'm talking to a guy who knows what the fuck's happening right now, and we can shoot it straight. And it's like the relief that I got from that call changed the way I probably was going to run my life for the next 24, 48 hours.
Hmm.
And like, sometimes that's what we need.
Hmm.
And I'll always say this. I think we were built and created for two things. And that's to give love and it's to receive it. And we can't do those alone. And once we start to figure that
Sure, you
out,
can't. Yeah. I guess logically you couldn't. Yeah.
well, I mean, think about what you do.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? You're on a platform sharing your gifts, your tools, right? So that's what you have to offer to give love. And you have this beautiful community that's loving you back, right? What do I do on stage? I share my love, my lyrical content, my stories, right? And I have a community of people who love me back, right? When you find the woman or man of your dreams, what do you try to do? You want to love them, you want to pursue them, right? And then what are you looking for back? Well, I want them to love me, right? It's like everything in this world, when you get rich, right? Or you're famous, what are you doing? You're showing that you're worthy of love. Look at how
Mm.
look at how worthy I am. I have all these people who follow me. I'm worthy of love, right? Or look at, I'm rich, I'm successful. Shouldn't I be loved? Shouldn't I be respected? Shouldn't you want to love
Hmm.
me? Think about the dramatic and the traumatic experiences that we have with our loved ones. We being performance based. I lived my whole life that way. I performed so people would love me,
Mm.
you know? So that's a key factor here. And when we
Yeah,
start to realize that and see that,
yeah. I was gonna say, it sounds like you're saying you gave some examples even of like right or wrong, because I don't think you would hold to being rich and famous is what makes you deserve love. I know that's not what you mean, because you would say everyone, but I think if I'm understanding correctly, there's that desire of like, no, shouldn't I be? Like, I've worked so hard for that. Like, you're saying at the end of the day, you're looking for love, or yeah,
right? Yeah, I'm saying that even society is going to put these um, accolades or um, expectations on us. And some of them have to do with being, the biggest you can be, or the most successful, or the most rich.
yeah,
But in reality, when we chip away at that, we see that really people just want to be appreciated. They just want to be
yeah,
loved. They just want to be seen and heard, right?
yeah,
And so, that's what heart support is. And I think that the mentorship program is a great addition to anyone's journey if they want to grow in their life and they're not satisfied with where they are.
yeah. I think that's really cool too, because something that I think you and I talked about this a while ago, but I feel like heart support, over the years that I've talked about it on stream or done things with you guys, I've always seen it as this place where if you need someone to talk to, go to there. Like, they're in chat, occasionally people say, man, I'm really going through something today, Kit, or I'm hoping for some laughs today because I can't laugh right now, life is terrible. And it's cool because now the community, I don't even say it half the time because I don't, sometimes chat moves so fast, but people in the community
Yeah.
are reaching out to them and saying, hey, you should go check out Heart Support. Like, there's a forum where you can. But I always saw that as like, okay, well, that's like a great step to start working on yourself, to start to see that you do matter, and to see that there are people who care about you. But this mentorship, this kind of one-on-one type stuff feels like what would you say? The next evolution, Heart Support 2.0 kind of, because, okay, well, I've gotten I've made those first steps. I know that I'm valuable. I know that there's people who care about me. I know that I can do this. But then having someone to really help you grow one-on-one feels like a really valuable. And I think you said it's free, which is crazy. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we run off of donations, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's free to the people that need it.
Right.
And I think that it's like, yeah, it's like, man, if you really want to go, like, ask yourself that question, like, do I want to change? Because in reality, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to sit with that sober, cold truth. But if you want to change, and like, you know, maybe you don't want to go to a professional, or you don't have the money, or maybe you're just here tonight and you're like, holy cow, this is crazy and I do want this, and knowing that it's free, then just go there
Sure.
and sign up, right? And the other thing that I will say is like, because we also are looking for volunteers to reply to the support walls, right? Which we call them SWAT members. Um, you can sign up for that as well and give back, because we do continuing education for the repliers. And through that process, you really start to understand how to listen really well. And when you do that, it's going to affect your other relationships in your life.
Yeah.
So it's not like so many people think that like, oh, well, come here and you can take through the mentorship, but it's like, yeah, but there's value in giving as well. And a lot of people might not think of that, but man, it's like you're going to learn how to communicate, you're going to learn how to listen. And if you want to grow in business, if you want to grow in pretty much anything, you're going to have to work with other people and
That's right.
understand different personalities and experiences and things like that. And it's going to benefit your life on multiple levels. So
Yeah.
I just want to encourage people that, you know,
Yeah,
if they have a heart for that, like to sign up for volunteering.
Yeah, we just linked that in chat. Somebody asked, "Can you do both?" And I imagine that you're asking, "Can I both post on the forum, get one-on-one, and give back?" I think that's what they're asking.
Oh, yeah, get after it, man. Like, yeah, let's go, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no rules in like, oh, you know, I need you to read a book. You know, like, nah, dude. Like, or you know, you've got to make all A's in high school. Like, yeah, please, like, by all means, like, you know, this is your journey, and we're here to offer, you know, multiple levels of help. And yeah, the fact that you want to give and then also receive is super cool. So yeah, I would love to hear more like of the questions in the chat.
Yeah, if anyone has
curious.
questions for Jake about like Heart Support or what they do, and then I also, I know I think you have a few more minutes, but I planned on going through a bunch of these support wall posts. I see some of you guys posting on there. I think perhaps some people have replied too, but I will.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna hang out and try to talk to you guys about some of that stuff too. But someone said, is it possible to be an advocate for Heart Support? Do you know what that word advocate means specifically, Jake, or do we need to elaborate what that means?
I mean, that could mean in my understanding, that could mean a broad amount of things.
Yeah.
As an advocate, because we have advocates that, you know, might want to do like a partnership,
okay,
or a collaboration for like a campaign, or maybe they want to just donate, or they want, you know what I mean? So I think a little
yeah, we can ask for some clarification,
a little more detail on that.
Yeah, Sen, if you want to elaborate on that a little bit, that'd be just so we can fully understand it. Yeah, I don't know if you have chat pulled up or not, if there's any that you specifically want to pull out. Otherwise,
I'm trying to watch them. They go so fast.
Yeah. Someone asked, I'll just pull some that I think are interesting, unless I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Someone said you can, I think you guys on Twitch, can you scroll up in chat or no? To stop it from moving? Anyway, someone asked, is there an age, do they have an age limit? I actually don't know that answer about age.
That's a good question. And I actually think that we changed it most recently. I think you have to be 18.
Okay.
19, bare minimum. But I would actually, if you could do me a favor.
Oh, go ahead.
Yep. Email info. Yeah.
I wonder, is it to be a person who gives like to do the advocacy stuff? Is there a
I think
minimum
it's
age?
both. I
Or
think it's
both?
both.
Okay, both.
I
Sure.
think it's both. Yeah, because we have to be. I mean, we're not professionals, but we also have to live in a
Mhm.
world that we make sure that we follow certain rules.
Well, there are.
So that's why I'm saying that I think, and sometimes that changes. So if you wanted to email info at heartsupport.com that question, and we could get back to you on
Get
that.
all the right. I know it can be really tricky with. There's a lot of laws to protect kids, and a lot of complications with like younger people posting on the internet.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
And sometimes it's state to state as well.
Yeah, there could be some legal hurdle, regardless of. I'm sure you guys would want to help anyone who needs it, but there can be a lot of hurdles.
100%.
Okay, the person who asked about being an advocate said, "I would like to be a part of supporting people if that's possible." That's what I meant. I think that's that SWAT link, heartsupport.com/SWAT.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. And
Yeah,
you can
let's post that up.
Yeah, learn more about the program. I think we just had was it exclamation point? Oh, thanks, Twix. Exclamation point reply team brings you to some information. Yeah. Thank you.
It gives you a breakdown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said I'm actively involved in healthcare and want to become a mental first aider, and they're interested in that. So that's really cool. Yeah, check that out.
So cool. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Let's see. Oh, someone else just said, I'm sorry if you already explained. Have you gone over the whole volunteer, like what the commitment is like? I love the idea of helping others. Yeah, what kind of commitment does that entail?
If you follow that link, it'll basically give you like the basic breakdown. But you're basically gonna get into a team, and then you're gonna get continuing education once a month from a professional. And I believe that there is a clause of like, when you're gonna step back or step down, so that the rest of the team understands that and has the ability to make changes. But it should be all on the link there that we just posted.
Yeah. Someone else said, and sorry if these are really complex. I know you're like, you've got lots going on too, so sometimes anyway, someone asked, can licensed therapists be advocates?
Well, this comes from a volunteer position. So a licensed therapist, you basically would have maybe your knowledge and wisdom, but we wouldn't like support that in the sense of that if you were to volunteer and give support, there wouldn't be any pay exchange for your services. There wouldn't be any you're a professional. It would be basically like, that's awesome that you have all of that knowledge and wisdom and expertise, and we would greatly benefit from that, just from you communicating with our community as a professional. But there wouldn't be any like financial exchange or any kind of benefit from that. But that's, I mean, I love that you'd want to give more of your time, especially knowing what you do as a person and all of the strain of what you're already committed to. I really appreciate that. I commend it.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there a way to get notifications on mobile? I don't know about that. Someone said, is it global or just US? It's global from what I understand.
Yep, it's global. Heartsupport.com we have people from China, Africa, Europe, Canada, Australia. It's just a community for anyone, honestly.
Do you know about mobile notifications?
Yeah, as far as the mobile notifications, there is a service that we do have that's mobile. And again, if that's what you're looking for, I would again email info@heartsupport.com.
Sure.
I don't know that I actually know the page as to where that information would be coming from.
Yeah.
But we definitely have like a mobile thing. We have some other really cool mobile things that we want to do, but it's just not, we're just not there yet.
Sure. Well, maybe we could. I mean, I don't want to. I know at some point you gotta hop. I just saw someone say, "I really don't matter." So I say one thing that might be interesting to hear your response on is, okay, well, I think this person does. Spy Ducky says, "I have no purpose. I really don't matter." I think that's very untrue. You've heard, if you've watched my streams before, Spy, you've heard me say that you matter. I could talk about it for a minute, but I'd love to hear your take too, Jake. I think you might have, I don't know when you got here, but a few minutes ago, Jake and I were talking about how much like potential you have to affect those around you, and how like working, even taking steps to be better yourself and learning more about yourself and taking mental health seriously can affect like multiple generations. It says that you've been here for like at least like half an hour, so you might have heard that part. You said I understand what you mean. Yeah, because I think that you have tremendous value and power to be able to affect your life and those around you, which I think certainly means you matter and you're valuable for sure. But I don't know what your take is, Jake.
Well, I mean, when I think to myself that my purpose, even when in times that I feel like I don't matter, is to give love and to receive it, then in the moments where I feel like I don't matter, I try to think of why am I saying that? Like what is it there that's telling me this, and that I can't choose to believe otherwise, right? But then when I think to myself, okay, well, let's say I say fuck that, like I don't even want to question myself. I'm not even going to question that. You exist. Like there's already a reason that you matter. It was before you even understood how to process what mattering meant, what purpose was. Like the fact that you live on this earth means you exist for a purpose. And that's not something that you can take away from yourself, in my opinion. Like there's worth and value already here before you knew how to speak, walk, talk, act, and live in this society.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And that alone, think of all of the people that don't exist, all the life that isn't here. And if you were to, there was like a scientist that went through this calculation, and he's like, dude, you're here on a ridiculous calculation.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's an opportunity.
No, go ahead.
Did you just watch it?
No, I had a similar thought, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt that.
So even with the thought of like, yeah, fuck it, man, I get that thought. I've been with that thought multiple times in my life. I'm not going to sit here and try to play it straight, but knowing that I'm existing and I believe, coexisting with my existence, I believe that I'm here to love and to receive it, makes me think of hope and makes me think, okay, what is the voice, or what's the thing, or what's the feeling that is going on in my life right now that is telling me that I have no purpose and I don't I'm not worthy. Because no matter what that thought is in this moment, you can physically touch yourself and know that you have purpose because you are here.
Hmm.
And like this is the truth. This is the foundation of your existence, is the fact that you actually are here. And so I'm not going to sit here and tell you what your purpose is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that like I have the answers. But what I will say is that if you can touch yourself right now, you can feel your body. That's the foundational truth, that you have a purpose and you're here for a reason. And I think that your environment, perhaps, maybe trauma you've gone through, maybe the lack of feeling alive or feeling that you matter, could deter you from feeling like you have no purpose and that you're not worthy. But you've got to come back to the fact that you're here and that there's another day that you can change this. And there's another day that there might be something in this world that you can see, a door walk through, a question you can ask, a phone call you can make, a book you can read, or a website that you could go to and talk to other people that is going to tell you otherwise, and that could help you on that journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I have nothing but love and prayers for you, man or woman. I don't know, or them, they.
Yeah.
But like this is where it is. It starts with this,
Sure.
and that's a tough, very tough place. And I've felt that. And I can't sit here and say that I've been in the exact same situation, but I've felt it. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not there now. So I know that there is a journey that you can take. And I don't know, I guess that's how I would respond.
Yeah, no, I think I can resonate a bit with that idea of you're here. And I was talking to someone a while ago, because they were like, no, nothing matters, like kind of the, nothing matters. We're just a bunch of randomness. There's all in this vast this vast universe and blah, blah, blah. And to me, I think you could look at it either way. You could look at all of that and say, yeah, you're just a blip on a time scale of a very long time, and you could feel overwhelmed by that. Or I look at it as like, I don't know, I find that actually even more special. To me, that's like, well, you're here. You could not be.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what you're getting at with that scientist saying the calculation of you being here is like we all just sort of, it's kind of crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And it's like, dang, man, like, I remember, I mean, like, I've gone through it, like parents divorced, close family member was a heroin addict. I was molested when I was a kid multiple times, like, didn't have a great relationship with my dad, you know what I mean?
Dang.
And painting apartments, you know what I mean? But I was fighting so hard to like, get it or understand it, or like, what the heck, or why did I get this, or whatever it was, right? And now it's like, I don't know, man, like now I've got heart support where I was able to create this beautiful community based off of my suffering and my pain. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and tell that particular person that like, you're going to get through this and like your pain's going to be a tool. I mean, I believe that, but that's not what this person might need right now, right? Like they need to understand that, like, dude, no, like just, like when I went through my divorce, I'd get fucking hammered drunk, and then I'd get up in my bed, and I would just hold myself. I would hug myself because I felt so alone. I needed to feel like somebody was hugging me. You know what I mean? So like I get that place, but you know, in the same like line of thought, I was painting apartments, came from this place, and then I created Heart Support, you know, and then I opened a gym during the pandemic that was about mental health. And I'm a touring musician, and like there's a lot of, yes, I still struggle with things, but there's a lot of other beautiful things that were birthed out of that pain and that suffering and that
Mhm.
understanding, that wisdom. And another thing too is like the darkest moments, it's like if you want to love deeply, you're going to have to suffer deeply because that's where that deep love is. It's the only place it exists.
Hmm.
People who have lived surface life may not understand the depth of love because they've never had to go to find it. They've never encountered it, you know? So maybe they don't know how to communicate that depth of love. Maybe they understand it,
Hmm.
but maybe do you know what I'm saying? Like if there's somebody in your life who like I have a good friend of mine, he came up to me, he goes, I've never felt pain like you, Jake, ever in my life. Well, he lives a much different life than I do. And that's totally fine. And both of our lives are great and prosperous and beautiful and you know what I mean? Like their life. But I've been able to do certain things with my pain
It's interesting.
because
Yeah.
it taught me the depth of love.
Hmm.
So maybe I love a little deeper. Maybe I am a little more understanding. Maybe I think things differently, or
Mhm.
I can pick up on people's feelings and emotions or energy. You know, like I spent a
Yeah.
lot of school here. You know, I've
Yeah.
gone to
It's
school here for a long
interesting.
time. Right.
I think
And
that
like
makes
that's another
sense.
thing that I'm
Go ahead.
no, it's funny. You're like, I think that makes sense.
Well,
And it might
it's something I
kind of
haven't
make
thought a lot
sense.
about. So I'm like, yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's some of the first time I'm thinking about some of that. Um, I had, you know, not getting too far into it. And again, if at any point you need to hop, just let me know. Um,
Yeah.
I had a really close, I guess my best friend passed away last year due to some,
Mm.
you know, unforeseen circumstances, and it's been tough. But there have been some things where I've learned. I think I can echo part of what you're saying in that for a long time I would get on the stream and I would someone would say like, oh, I just lost a friend or a family member, or then I would say like, man, I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry you're going through that, and you know, we love you, we're here for you, and like check out Heart Support. But I had never had someone that close to me pass away, and
Right.
now that I have is I'm not saying I'm glad by any stretch. I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm glad that it happened, but there's this weird like I am able to relate to people going through that in a way different way now. I feel like I was just like I had no idea what I was even saying before, and the stances of his death, like you know, we won't get into all the specifics right now, but like there's these things where now I'm like, wow, I can relate to someone deeper, and I also I think I cherish the relationships and the friendships that I have now in a different way. Um,
Hmm.
anyway, it's interesting to think about all that.
Yeah.
But, well, anything you
Yeah.
want
And that's,
to plug or talk about before? Am I mistaken? And I think you have to run. So, uh,
yeah.
yeah. Do
Yeah.
you
I've
want
got to
to?
get going here soon.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Man, I just want to say how
Yeah.
cool this experience was, man. Like I
Yeah.
think again, you have a super cool community here. They're all like encouraging each other and like
Yeah.
understanding and listening and asking questions. I love seeing that type of engagement and level of respect. And thank you for having me
Yeah,
on
dude.
this. And, again, obviously, if anybody wants to volunteer for heart support, or if you need some help, or just you want to open up and share, like check out heartsupport.com. Like we are very heavily like in the metal scene and the music industry. So if that's not your thing, sorry in advance. But I think that the depth of what we are and what we stand for and the good that comes from our community is bigger than the genre of music. And yeah, I mean, check us out on Instagram at Heart Support. And I'm thankful for the time and just the connection, man. And
Yeah, dude.
maybe we could do something like this again sometime. It's
Yeah.
just it's cool just to like, I don't know, shoot the shit with a homie.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it. Like I said, it's also there's this weird, surreal. Like you were talking about Composure, the song earlier, and I was like, I know that one. That's definitely been that was my anthem at one point. So yeah, um, that's cool to have
That's
you
cool,
around,
man.
and yeah, I'm gonna hang out for a bit, chat, and keep talking to you guys about stuff. But thank you again, Jake, for hanging out.
Awesome.
Love Heart Support. And guys, yeah, if you
Yes,
want more
thank you.
info, go to heartsupport.com, or I'm going to be doing stuff right now with the Heart Support forum for a little bit. But yeah, hope you have a good rest of your evening, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
All right, sounds good, man. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. See you, everybody.
See
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much. See you.
Yeah. Oh, I think I just saw myself. Okay, hold on. Oof, I used to listen to a lot of ABR. They were like, it's like who I listened to. It's a little surreal to be hanging out with Jake. Okay, hold on one second. Someone said, what if it's just a simulation? All right, so here's the thing. Chat. It's late night. It's late night Boga stream. Part of me wants to respond to your question about what if we're just in a simulation, because I got thoughts, baby. I can argue with you all night about that if you want. Really quickly, I'll just say my current take, which isn't that informed on the topic of simulation, is I'm not convinced that I'm going to be able to figure out if I'm in a simulation or not. And so for now, I'm just gonna keep going at it like everything's fine. Because as far as I know, everything feels pretty dang real to me. So I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. But anyway, I maybe we'll talk about some of those things in a little bit. All right, depending on whether or not I fall asleep, we'll talk about those things. But for now, I did tell people that I would respond to some of your heart support wall posts. So what I'm going to do for now is I am going to go through some of the posts on the forum.heartsupport.com that were tagged at Kitboga, and I'm going to try to respond to those live. Couple quick thoughts here about that. Hold on, really quick. This was like really quiet the whole time. But if you want some good Christmas music this season, August Burns Red, baby. There was a... Which one was it? It came on a minute ago. Hold on. There was one where Jake was... where his vocals came in. I don't remember which one. I don't remember which one it was, but I had to turn it off. Does this mean can I not play the music anymore because Jake's gone? But yeah, this is what I listened to a lot back in the day. Composure. Oh, I would happily just sit there and listen to this for a while, but explain why I subbed for hard support. I don't know if I know what that means. I don't know if I understand what you're saying. I can't tell if you're angry or if you're happy. I genuinely don't know. Hopefully it's all good vibes. I'm hoping for good vibes. That was Composure by August Burns Red. They have a lot of good new stuff too. If I'm honest, not at all a real question. Oh, okay. If I'm Whitewashed is good. If I'm totally on, I would have said this while Jake was here too. While Jake was here too, I've gone through a period of a couple years here where I really haven't listened to a lot of music with vocals. I've listened to a lot of like Animals as Leaders and Polyphia and like metal or progressive metal that doesn't have vocals, but I just now have been getting back into this stuff. So I haven't listened to a lot of their newer albums, but anyway, all right. So, yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna stick around. I'm not leaving. That sounds like I'm leaving. This is me sort of switching gears a little bit here. So, I'm going to do my best to go through some of these posts that you guys have posted and just be there for you. If I'm honest, I'm a little nervous. I don't super feel like I have, I'm probably not going to have great advice or the right words to say. I just shared a little bit. I did this 2 years ago, I think. Last year, I just couldn't do this last year because I had lost a really close friend, and I felt like there was just no way I was going to be able to, like get up here and do that. I wanted to do that, but I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to. I will say, yeah, I'm just speaking off the cuff. You know me. You've seen my stream. Maybe if you haven't seen these sorts of conversations before, maybe you don't know me. So, I tend to just be kind of honest and what do you say? Wear my heart on my sleeve. Is that the word? I am not a professional. I haven't been trained for any of this. I'm just a guy on the internet, and I know what it can be like to go through stuff feeling alone. And I won't know exactly what it is that you're going through, but my hope is that at least for a little bit here, I'm going to try to go through some of your posts and at least tell you that I love you and that I care to whatever degree it is that I can, and that you're not alone. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And I apologize ahead of time if I cry or I don't have the best advice ever. But that's sort of the goal. You know, I say take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. And in some ways, that's what my plan is tonight. I am going to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy, and try to just hang out with you guys, and be there for you, because I know sometimes, you know, people don't have too many people to be around and too many friends to be around. So, where are these posts? I am looking at forum.heartsupport.com, and then, you know, I'm going to go through some of those posts of people who have shared their life on there, or been looking for some feedback. If there's a lot of posts, I don't know how long I can stay awake, so I might not be able to get through them all. And if I do get through them all, then I'll just hang out with you guys and talk about whatever. You know, thanks, Ned the janitor. I don't really have my alerts up, but okay. I feel like I have to say one last. You know what? I'm gonna probably keep repeating all these things over and over again, but let me see if I can figure out how to do this here. I feel like I kind of have to read these. So, wow, I think someone knew that I was going to be doing this. They posted this even like yesterday, I think. Oof. All right. Sorry, I'm just a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit like, what am I doing here? But I will. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best. So, maybe I'll share some of. When I say I know what I'm doing, I know that I want to try my best to help. I just feel a little bit like, okay, here it goes. I just don't want to end up, you know, not. I don't know. You know what it is. Okay, so, let's see. I don't know if it's best to like share this on stream. I really haven't set anything up for this. So I think I'm just gonna read it. So this is someone. I don't know if I should say their names or not. Although you choose whether or not you want to say your name on Heart Support, you can remain anonymous. So, I will. I'll also share the link. I think that if you have a Heart Support account, you know, part of what they do is like you can be a part of it, in the sense that you go on, and when you see posts about things that you can relate to, or if you want to hop in there and say, you know what, I think you do matter, or I'm here for you. I might not have good advice, but I'm here for you. So I'll link them in chat just so you know what I'm referring to. But anyway. So Carol says, I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but a few years into my marriage, my husband morphed into someone that I don't know. I caught him in lies, was accused of everything under the sun, and became the victim of mental abuse. Here I am, years after getting divorced, on the verge of losing my home, because he feels the need for vengeance. After stalking me and involving our son, he left the state after a court order. After the court order got him to sign a house over to me, I'm in foreclosure, can't do anything about it without him signing paperwork. Hired lawyers, a PI, but I'm getting nowhere. I'm just looking at some of this, but I can't take the anxiety. I have nowhere else to go, no credit, and the anxiety is killing me. He's determined to destroy my life. I put up with so much in the form of mental and emotional torture, and this is just where things are. It's never going to stop. I feel my mind cracking, and I don't recognize myself anymore. I was never like this. I was always outgoing and protective of my loved ones. Now everything makes me nervous. I doubt my decisions. I've become agoraphobic, withdrawn, miserable, lost my parents in the past 3 years, icing on the cake. I was always proud of the fact that I could be a problem solver. Hold on. I feel like I need to I have thoughts. I don't know if it's better for me to read all of this and then respond, because I have things that pop into my head as I'm reading it. Anyway, I was always proud of the fact that I could be a problem solver and make sure my kids felt safe and know mom was always on the ball and could make things okay. I have no hope anymore. I can't control the situation no matter how hard I try. Living like this isn't living, it's existing. I wake up every day knowing I'm a victim and I can't anymore. It's like happiness will never be a part of me again. Nothing to celebrate this holiday season. Carol, thank you for being willing to share that. You tagged me. I feel like I'm going to say this over and over again tonight. I wish that I had super amazing life advice or something, but the first thing that jumps out to me is, you said that you used to be a problem solver and that you were proud of that and that you could make your kids feel like you were on the ball. And it sounds to me like you are 100% a problem solver and doing everything that you possibly can. It sounds like you're an awesome mom. So I don't know if that does or doesn't help you at all, but the first thing that I got when I was reading through all this is I can't imagine going through half of what you're going through, and you are still taking the time to post this because you want to be the best that you can be for your kids. And it seems like even though you're feeling there's no hope and no happiness, sorry, I have a little random fruit fly that keeps going around. I don't know. I would just say you have so much to be proud of, and it seems like you are doing everything that you can to take a situation that is not fair and you don't deserve and make it the best that you possibly can. And if anything, I think that's worth celebrating. And you said it's like happiness will never be a part of me again. Yeah, I mean, maybe not right now, but if you keep, it seems like if you're going to keep working on this the way that you are, that things can change. And again, I wish I had amazing advice. But it sounds like everything that you are trying to do, you're doing all of the right steps, hiring all the right people, doing everything that you can to help your kids and your family. And I'd say I'd say you're an awesome mom. I've talked about this before on the stream about parental things, parents. I think a parent who cares about their kids, even a little tiny bit, is absolutely crushing it, because there are so many parents out there that just don't care. My wife had a father who literally did not care at all, and to the point where he said if I ever see you again, I'll kill you level, just messed up, terrible things. So having parents that actually care, even if they can't solve all the problems and can't do everything, I think is just absolutely huge. Yeah. Okay. I will I guess I didn't respond like to the post. Maybe later I can go back and like link a clip in chat. Link a clip. What was like an hour and 30 minutes into the stream? But yeah, you know, Carol, thanks for taking the time to post that, and you know, we love you. We're here for you. I saw some people in chat saying that they're going through something similar. You're absolutely worth it. Okay, I see another post. I think I'm gonna keep playing the August Burns Red Christmas music, if that's okay, because I have to have something in the background. It's weird for me to not have anything in the background. Yeah, I like want to be able to say, I want to be really careful about, like, well, I'll just jump into this next one. So, Leap Year says, heart support stream at Kitboga, you matter. I'm gonna do my best to, like, I hope this is okay. I mean, chat, you tell me if you think I'm crazy about this. It seems like there's quite a few posts, and I want to try to get through as many as I can. So I might do, like, half reading out loud and half... I can read much faster than I can talk. So I might do a little bit of both reading and talking. I hope that's okay. Hopefully it doesn't seem disingenuous, but okay. I'm very much looking forward to the heart support Kitboga stream tonight. I have been struggling with depression since the beginning of 2017. I have been briefly hospitalized 5 times because of the severity of the depression. Somewhere in July this year, I saw a video of Kitboga. I liked the content, it made me laugh. But either at the beginning or the end, he would say, "You matter." To be honest, that used to upset me a bit because I thought, sorry, I shouldn't laugh. How can this random guy think that I matter? He has no clue who I am. But as time went on and I saw more videos, I started to be touched by the message. September 16th, I discovered Twitch. I had never heard it before, and it was scary in chat. But the community was very supportive. I've never experienced a community like that. Oh, that's you guys. Sounds like you've been involved in the Discord server. Let's see. Man, I feel like a lot of this is just a thank you, which is, I ventured in chat to ask if people could still think I could learn computer stuff at my age, and to my surprise, Kit himself answered and said it was never too late. This is very wholesome. I don't know what to say other than, like, I'm honored that I have been able to have any influence at all. And hold on, I should continue reading the rest of this, but I will say one thing. You know, you talked about struggling with depression since the beginning of 2017, and it sounds like, you know, you just said I'm still getting down at times but bouncing back. I still do have some anxiety, and like, it sounds like you are working on yourself and are growing and taking steps towards being the best you can be, which is all that anyone could ever ask, right? Like, that's what I talk about on stream sometimes, like slaying your dragon or whatever. And how, like, for someone, a dragon is like getting out of bed and taking care of yourself. Like, I feel like there's probably some people here that doesn't make any sense at all, and you're like, for you, slaying a dragon is, I don't know, you're about to be the co-founder of some big business, or win some big court case or whatever it is, and like that's also monumentally, like a lot to go through. Okay, sorry, 1 second. But I think, for some people, like it's the exact same dragon, whether it's getting out of bed, whether it's taking care of yourselves, whether it's going to the doctor, whether it's getting your first job. But yeah, sorry, let me keep reading here. I had a major breakdown during Christmas 2 years ago, and it's scary this year. However, I have put some thought in ways to make it easier, and if it doesn't go well, I can always leave. Yeah. I don't know, Leap, it sounds like you're crushing it and doing great. I know Christmas can be scary this year. I know that there's a loving community that I can turn to here if needed. Thanks for Kipoga's team, and I'm forever grateful. That is very wholesome and kind. Thank you for sharing this stuff. And yeah, the heart support community and our community have been awesome for stuff like that. Okay. Here's another one. Sorry that it's a couple hours ago. Oh, you might have posted before I started streaming, but also I hope it's okay that I was laughing during the, I do occasionally see people say stuff about the You Matter at the end, but yeah. Sorry. I'm not tonight, bisque in the oven. Okay, so this next one is here. I'm Butters 2, and your avatar is Rick and Morty. It looks like. Okay. Hello. I've been dealing with depression since about 8, and I was diagnosed at 10. I've been through hell and back. Tried to end my life multiple times. Came close a few times. In school, got into drugs given to me by my father. I never really tried to be anything in life. Met my wife in school and started dating in senior year. With her help and medication, I'm doing great today. I'm an engineer for a modular home builder. We build houses in a lot of states. Still have bad days, but it can get better. I found Kipoga, and his positive attitude and saying you matter means a lot. Because as people with depression, it's hard to feel important or that you matter. Bro, so I don't know why I'm saying bro, but that's like, that's amazing. What a comeback story. That's really powerful stuff. I'm super glad you're here. And, yeah. Sorry. I think that the whole, I'm going to end up talking about this at some point tonight. So just hearing your story and you still being here is so powerful, and saying that it can get better. It sounds like your wife has been a huge help with her help and medication. So yeah, sorry. I don't want to make it about me. I was going to share some stuff, but I won't do that. But thank you for sharing, Butters. We're glad that we can be any even small part of that, the positive attitude. And yeah, thank you for sharing, because I think there's so many people who need to hear that it can get better and it can be okay. And it sounds like part of that is just you took the time to try. So thanks, Butters. Okay, someone's called, let's see, was it Need a Listening Ear, maybe? Yeah, it helps knowing others made it. Yeah, it's like, I think that's part of what can be really cool about this stuff, is like just knowing that other people have gone through. When I was, see, an old school soldier or older soldier, I feel like some of the time when I was going through some dark times, it just felt like I was alone and no one wanted to listen to me, or no one yeah, could understand. And then you hear about these things and you're like, oh, I guess maybe I'm not alone. Sharing your stuff doesn't mean just making it about you. It shows you're not alone. Yeah, maybe it's okay. I'm just trying to, I want to be careful about that. I guess just tell me, chat. Just be honest. If for some reason you're like, whoa, Kit, you need to shut up about that. Okay. Yo, what's up, Raiders? Hi. I'm Kit. Normally I call scammers. Normally I pretend to be an old man and talk to scammers on the phone. Today I'm doing something very different from what I normally do, which is just hanging out, talking about some mental health stuff, and trying to be there for people during the holiday season. Just going through some people's stories who have posted about their life, and I am just being honest about stuff. So if you want to stick around, we're happy to have you. But yeah, thank you. So this one was posted by Michelle. Sad time of year at Kitboga. Okay, I have no close family except for my 85-year-old mom. We're best friends, and I love her very much. On the day before Thanksgiving in 2009, my parents were in a car accident in which my dad died. My mom was driving, and it changed everything. It took many years for her. Sorry, one sec. It took many years for herself to stop blaming for it. And it almost killed me being the only family member to support her. It was so stressful, and it felt like it was gonna be too much to deal with. My brother killed himself in April 2001, and I found out after the accident that my mom's dad did the same before, so that was more to worry about. We got through it all in the end, but at the end of holidays are a really sad time. I introduced her to Kitboga streams and videos years ago, and she tells people at the independent living place about scams. In December 2020, she got COVID, and I mentioned it in chat. Kit took the time to respond and saying he was sorry to hear about it. It made her day. I clipped it and watch it occasionally, and it makes me love Kit more. Just want to thank you, Kit. Guys, I was expecting to I wasn't sorry, I'm trying not to cry. Jeez. I wasn't expecting you guys to post nice things about me. Man, Michelle, that is you've gone through way more than I can possibly imagine. It sounds like you have you've been, I don't know, it said that it almost killed you, and I'm glad that it didn't. I'm glad that you're able to be there for your mom, and I'm sorry for what you've gone through, and I'm humbled that me talking to your mom in Twitch chat or any of those things were able to help you guys in any way. Thank you for sharing that stuff, Michelle. And goodness. You said You have a way of making people feel they matter even in the worst times. Well, I guess that's what I'm trying to do, and thank you for doing that for me. Thanks. Wow. So, let's see. I'm trying to go through and like respond to ones that are older, but I'm not like 100% sure I'm doing them in the right order, to be honest. I'm trying to do my best, but yo, someone posted as have the best goats, which is a great username. A great, if I do say so myself. A little bit longer post, so I might read parts of it, and say other parts out loud. Okay. So glad to see the back of 2023. I don't think I've had a worse year than now. I still live at home with my mum and stepdad. About a year ago, we decided to look into moving. Took about 8 months to move. The day that we were about to move, we had a phone call saying that the house we were moving into wasn't ready. The contract's drawn up on the house for sale. We felt like we had to honor it, or we would be in breach of breaking contract. We're advised that things would be sorted out in a few weeks. 1 to 2 weeks ended up being 5 to 6 weeks. It was stressful and exhausting. That sounds, yeah. As someone who has, I mean, I haven't moved a lot, but it is stressful just moving at all, let alone going through something like that. It sounds like finally we got the keys to our new home and we could move in. That's great. Not long after we moved in the house, my granddad was taken to the hospital. He has dementia and Alzheimer's. He was very unsettled in the hospital, and it was difficult to see. I was going to the hospital almost every day, and sadly my granddad passed in October. I've been finding it difficult, especially with the coming of Christmas. My granddad has been the biggest father figure in my life. My biological father has never been in the picture. I tend to see my grandparents about 2 to 3 times a week, grew close to the bond as a result, and I was heartbroken when he passed, and I still am. I heard a quote from somewhere recently that grief is what we pay for love, and it's true. I'm so sorry for your... I feel like saying I'm sorry for your loss is like just not... I wish I had really good words for that. It sounds like from what you shared here that you just said that your grandpa was like the closest thing that you had to a father, and my dad's still around, so I can't relate to... I can't quite imagine what it would be like to lose that, especially around the holidays. You said the quote about grief is the price we pay for love, and it's true. Someone told me that, I think, earlier in the year with or not this year, but last year with when my friend passed, and I don't know if I really understood it before, but I think in a way you're right that, like, to have... I think the way I heard it quoted was something like to have loved, that deeply, and to have cared about, to care so much about someone. I can't quite think of the quote, but a similar idea of of that being the price. You said my grandma. Wait. One thing that I've had on my mind is the night that he passed. My grandma told me to go home. I left, and part of me, all through the evening, kept telling me to go back. And I wish I had, but I didn't, and it pays in my mind a lot. I haven't told anyone else this because I'm ashamed. You know, I don't think you possibly could have known. And I'm sure you would have if you would have known. I don't think that you need to be. I mean, I'm just a random dude on the internet. You tagged me in the post, but I don't think you certainly have anything to be ashamed of for that. You didn't know, and I think that's a very natural thing to feel. At least I hope, because that's, I've felt that a lot with my friend. But I don't think that it's. Yeah, I'm sure if you would have known that you would have, it's nothing to feel ashamed for. I think it's very natural. Sinblink just posted something, and she's helped me through some stuff, so I'm gonna read it because I'm sure it's straight facts. Grief never ends, it changes. It's the price we pay for love. That's probably something that you sent to me. Yeah, I'm sorry I did such a bad job of articulating that. But yeah. I want to take the time to thank everyone here at Heart Support. I've posted a handful of times, and each time I've had lovely, kind, informative responses. Kit, thanks for making me laugh through this difficult year. Jeez. Whew. Well, have the best goats. I don't know if I had much to say at all on this one, other than I'm sorry for what you went through. I'm sure that your grandpa wouldn't want you to feel ashamed of anything like that, and I'm glad that you found some value in the streams and in the Heart Support community. Let's see. Okay. I got another one here. I found your stream at the time. Thanks, Swedish people. I loved fishing with my grandpa, and when you recognized my screen name as a fishing lure from the time with your grandpa, it made me smile. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, literally, the few memories I have with my grandpa are fishing, and he had Swedish pimples, or whatever, however you would say that, the fishing lure. That's wild. Okay, here's another one. It says, at Kiboga Heartwall, my grandma passed away in 1989, and my depression skyrocketed. I've been with my psychologist for 10 years. I've made huge bounds, but holidays are the worst. My grandma died on Groundhog Day. The worst thing right now is I let a neighbor who's really sick borrow my car. Got a ticket and didn't tell me. Whoa. I got a letter that the ticket increased. I appealed and it's now lower. She hasn't even talked to me about paying the ticket. Oh my goodness. Both my parents are gone, and the sister that lives near me doesn't acknowledge me. Yesterday, my psychologist said they won't meet me again until the 29th, so it's hard to keep it together and not want to be with my parents. My cats are what keep me here. But I talk about Kitboga's love and compassion for people and the people in his chat. Man, you know, Kent, if that's your name based on your username, you know, I would just echo that we're here to the best that we can be. We'll try to. I'm sure some other people might respond to this post as well. Sorry for what you're going through with your friend's car. I don't think that's definitely not cool. I don't know. I am not a lawyer. Can't really give legal advice about that one. But it definitely sounds like something. Yeah. Hopefully that you and your friend can get sorted out. Sorry that that's like just one more thing to worry about during the holidays. I feel like that can be immensely difficult when there's just like it's already tough and then there's other things. But hopefully this doesn't sound cliche or weird, but the part of what pops into my mind is like you've been at this, you know, with your psychologist for 10 years. Like you said, you've made huge bounds. It sounds like you know that you can grow and that you can get through this stuff. Like you've been working at this, you've been working on yourself, and I think you're going to be able to get through this. You said your cats are what keep you here. I hope you and your cats do have a good Christmas, and we're here for you. We love you. Okay. Uh-oh. You told me not to read it? Your wall post doesn't suck. It's fine. No, gosh, don't feel that way at all. Literally all I wanted to do, and I think the point of the heart support wall is to be able to post whatever it is that's on your mind. I'm just trying to be be the best friend I can remotely, as someone who you basically don't know other than someone who streams. I'm just trying to be there for you, and sometimes you like whatever it is you want to share. There's no rules about any of this stuff. What's up top every day? I gotta take a drink of tea, just so you know. Hopefully it doesn't sound like I feel like that sounded. Do I still have a hoodie in the headrest? Yes, I do. First time here, kid. I watch all of your videos. Yo, what's up? Welcome. We're doing something very different than I usually do, but there's the link, by the way, to the support wall. I'm gonna try to get through a handful more of these before I fall asleep. Oh, this is a quote. It's a quote from. It's gonna get cut out because of chroma key. It's, you know, the sound that the fork makes in a garbage disposal. That's the sound that my brain makes all the time. Chidi Anagonye from The Good Place. I actually think that show's a very good show. I don't recommend that show enough, actually. Okay. Yeah, like if you're looking for a show to watch, that's definitely one to watch. If you can share, do you know if Milton is okay? I spoke with him. We try to catch up every handful of months, and the last time that we spoke, he was absolutely okay. So I think I'm okay to share that. It was a few months ago though. But yeah, he and I try to still connect. Okay. Let's see. Spending the holidays alone. Can someone? Okay, I understand. I didn't know what you meant with the parentheses. But I understand now. Okay, I skipped to the very end. Sorry. You said, I know this is all just a ramble and doesn't make sense. Listen, you've heard me ramble and not make sense a lot over the years, so don't worry at all. I'll start from the beginning. So this is my first time posting there. I saw this on Kitboga's stream and decided to give it a try. In 2020, a lot happened. Ended with my parents kicking me out of the house. Since then, they haven't wanted me to see them or come to their house, or really at all. They always said it was because they were scared they would catch COVID, but I doubt that's really what it is. This year, they finally agreed to let me spend the holidays with them at my grandparents'. I've been waiting for it, and at the last minute, it turns out they have COVID now. They pushed me away for years, just in time to catch it anyway. I've spent the past New Year's from 2020 and on alone in my room or in the hospital, and I'm scared to spend it alone again. Gosh, I'm reading some parts not out loud, and sorry, this music sounds very not for now. Yeah, I'm scared to spend it alone. I'm scared of myself. Do kids say props anymore? Mad respect for posting this and caring about these things and thinking about themselves, or thinking about yourself. It sounds like you have, from what I'm reading, it sounds like maybe you have some resources or a doctor or someone that you can reach out to for that. The music needs turning up. I'll get distracted if it's too loud. But yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about the stuff with your parents and COVID, and now so I, in a weird way, just to say that I kind of can relate. Through COVID, we had some issues in my extended family on, political things, or whether people would or wouldn't get vaccinated and all kinds of stuff. And I didn't see my family for a while. And this week, literally this week, my extended family, so I haven't had Christmas with them for a couple years. And this week I was supposed to not stream, actually. And my family was gonna be in town, and we were gonna host a big Christmas thing. And then my kids were sick last week, and now a bunch of my extended family is sick, and so we ended up having to cancel it. And it definitely sucks. And all I can say is that we're in whatever way that it might possibly help. We're here, and I'm glad that you posted on the heart support wall. I know there'll probably be some other people who respond, and I'm glad that you're taking care of yourselves. No worries about rambling. You said I need to know that there's still hope. I have seen so far that there is in my life. For what that's worth, and I know that we can do. You know, my wife says this thing that I assume that she got from Reddit. I mean, she's a smart girl, but like I'm assuming she got this from Reddit. She says, "Know better, do better," and I feel like that's just it's like what we do, and I feel like you're out here trying to do better, and I do think things can get better and be okay. Thanks for reading and responding. It means a lot. This is the least lonely I've been in months. I know it's in some ways it's like, I don't know if I'm responding to your post or it's just a feeling that you're feeling similarly. That's what has drawn me to Heart Support in the first place, is that feeling of, I just felt so alone, and like no one could possibly relate to me or would possibly care even a little tiny bit. And so as much as I feel like when I read these posts, I want to have like really, really good advice, or I want to have like some profound wisdom that I can shed upon you. But at the same time, I'm trying to remind myself, like, gosh, there were some times where I don't know, even having someone like read a post would have meant the absolute world to me. So I really hope that even if I don't have the best advice ever, that us just, me and chat and the community being here is of some value to you. I found another one here that says, hey Kit and Heart Support fam, it's been a tough year. My fiance and I split this year after 4 years together, and after uprooting my life to follow her across the country for a career opportunity. Now I feel stranded in a place where I have few social ties and trying to pick up the pieces of my heart and finding a way to move on. Thank you for all you do, all of you. Man, I'm sorry. That's rough. Especially like it said you moved across the country, you've been planning this life together for years, and like just feel stranded. Hopefully there's ways that you can maybe you'd even be able to get back to some place that you do have social ties, or you have some people that you can get to for that. But finding a way to move on, you said advice welcomed. The only advice I can think of, or the only thing I can think to say on that is what kind of what we were just talking about. Someone asked for hope. I think that it can get better, and it does get better, and you will find ways to grow and move on, and just keep working on yourself, and don't be alone, for sure. Thanks for posting here, and gosh, trying to pick up the pieces. That stuff's tough. I'm trying to, what is your, Narab. Yeah, Narab, sorry that happened. And you said thanks for all you do, all of you. Yeah, we're here for you, friend. Okay, hold on. Okay, someone else just posted. Oh, I forgot to post the links. Sorry. I'll post this one. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. on the posts, if you have to log in or make an account. Hold on 1 second. I feel like I have to blow my nose. Narab, I recognized that name, but I wasn't, I wasn't sure. I'm glad you're here, friend. Sorry you're going through that. I'll if I can speak candidly, maybe for a second, is candidly the right word? Not responding directly to you, Nara, but one thing that I have a hard time with, I want to be able to say, I want to be able to say, candidly, not candid. Thanks. Oh, here's what I wanted to show you earlier. This is Joy to the World. Remember Jake was on earlier? Hold on. Play this for Grandma. I mean, play it for Grandma, right? This would be nice in church. I would go to it. I would go to a church Christmas service for this. Okay. Anyway, could you play double bass that quickly? No, I can't. I haven't drummed in a while. I haven't played drums in quite some time. So yeah. Anyway. It's August Burns Red. I was never very good at double bass. Okay, so speaking candidly, I bet they do a good cover of Drummer Boy. Yes. They do have one of Little Drummer Boy. Okay, sorry. I'll play it in the background. I'm gonna lose my focus here. Speaking candidly, I wanted to say, maybe now's not the time, but I struggle sometimes because I feel this. Like sometimes I want to say, it does get better, and you can move on. But is there a point? I'm just like speaking as friends now. Is there do you not say that? Sorry, let me expound on what I'm. In my experience in life thus far, as a young millennial, so far, everything that I've gone through, I have gotten through to some degree. There's parts of life that still absolutely suck, and like losing my best friend, I hate that. But it has gotten better. And so far, everything in my life that has felt insurmountable, is that the word? Or everything that felt impossible has eventually been solved, and we've eventually got through it. And so like, in my life so far, I've had hope. And things have gotten better. And it seems like just part of my life now. But then, and I talk to older people who say the same thing. I remember my dad told me once when I went through a bad breakup, he was like, someday you might not even remember that person's name or whatever. But then I'm like, well, are there ever points? Again, if candidly is the word, I can't think of another one. I'm a bit afraid, like when I'm reading these posts, to say it gets better or it's gonna be okay, because I'm like, well, I don't fully know your situation. Like, is it ever unsafe to say that? Candidly, listen, I'm having a hard time saying candidly, all right, or however I'm supposed to say it. I don't know. What's the like? what's your take on that, Twitch chat? Like, what's your, because like maybe that's the way to word it, is so far in my life and those around me there has been hope, and so far I have seen that things do get better. I just don't like, part of it feels like just saying, oh yeah, it's gonna get better, can feel so I don't know. It feels unsafe to say. Like, I feel like there are some situations. I'm trying to think in my mind, like there are some situations that are just really, really, really hard. You know? I like this too shall pass. That's interesting. It also does seem disingenuous. Yeah. When you're in a dark time hearing it will be okay, we don't want it to be okay and we fight it. Yeah, it's interesting too, because when my friend passed away, someone told me that it's, you know, they were like, it's okay, it's all part of a plan. And I remember being like, frick you. Nope. It's not okay. It's not a part of a plan. Like, I was like, that was the absolute last thing that I wanted to, like, I was very angry. Whoever came up with this plan is dumb, right? That was like my that was my thought. And so I don't want to sit here now and be like, but yeah, you know, it's totally fine. I don't think I've said that it's fine to anybody tonight, but it's like I oh, and here I am, who put the bleep. But like, I mean, yeah, I guess this, here I am a year later, and it's like, do I say it's better? I think my life would be significantly better if he was still here, but also I am better. I have grown into a different person, and I am, you know, finding ways to feel joy and happiness again, right? Like, so it's like there were some really hard weeks and months last year. There were some days where it was very difficult to stream because I'm like, oh yeah, let me have fun and say that let me be a happy person online when I was very much not happy. But here now I'm like, you know, I'm pretty, I've found a joy and happiness again. So it's like, anyway, I'm just speaking in circles now, but, okay. Fluff Artist writes that I am, you said, hi Kit and Jake. I am autistic and rely heavily on parallel play. I enjoy just being in a room with other people, and, I'm not really someone that enjoys much verbal interaction. I get easily attached to people I'm constantly around, and when I'm not around them, I get lonely. This week and last week, I haven't had much opportunity or excuse to see anyone, and I felt more alone than I ever have. It's also worth mentioning that most people I talk to are going through some tough times themselves. I'd feel like an awful person pestering them too much, but I feel lonely, like I'm stuck in a cycle. I'd just like to know that I'm not the only one, really. Well, Fluff, I think given some time, some more people might even hop in and post on the wall. I just see a couple people in chat saying that they can relate to this. You're certainly not alone. I don't know your exact situation with these other individuals. You said that you don't want to pester them and that they're going through a lot. It feels like you're trying your best to, you know, handle it in an appropriate way. I don't think that it's pestering to, you know, ask or, you know, invite someone to do something or see what they're up to this week or whatever. I mean, pestering. Now, I have young kids, so some of their pestering is like, Dad, Dad, Dad. Like in the middle of a conversation that I'm having, they'll be like, Dad, Dad, Dad. Like, obviously, there's a point where pestering becomes too much, but yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I think it's great that you're thinking about it and you don't want to pester, but at the same time, I don't think you should ever be afraid of reaching out to people. Sometimes people don't know that you want to hang out, or someone, like, I'm trying to think of the right way to word this. Like, I think there are some people, maybe not the people that you're referring to. Of course, I don't know these people. They might just not know that you do want to hang out, or how much being near them means to you. So perhaps if you do have people in your life that you can be that open with, like, just tell them, like, honestly, I really like being around you. I don't even want to, I won't even bother you. And they may be totally fine with that. And they might be thinking very similar things. Maybe they don't want to burden you or overwhelm you. So I'm a huge advocate for, like, talking about it. If your friend was, I'm sure you would want the other, what's the golden rule, right? Like, treat people how you'd want to be treated. I try to be, like, really honest about stuff. And just telling people talking to people the way that I would want them to talk to me. So yeah, I mean, I think, hopefully you can find some people to be around this week. If not, huge on you for posting on the heart support wall. I think some people will hop in here. Again, I saw some people in chat saying they can relate. Telling someone that you like spending time with them is a compliment. Most people will be flattered. Yeah, I mean, there might be some people who say otherwise. Sorry, there's like a fruit fly, like one little fly. But yeah, that's, yeah. Okay. Becoming a parent struggles. I'm a dad. Here we go. I'm supposed to have experience for this. I might not have anything of value to say to you. All right, tomato soup. Also, one last thing, Fluff. I don't know if any of your friends or acquaintances are like this. I am so bad. I am very, very bad about communicating with people, like texting and scheduling things and replying. Like I'll occasionally pull up a text. I'll get a text message from, like, my neighbor or something, and be like, "Oh my gosh, I left them." Because what I end up doing is I, like, read their text message and then I, like, reply in my head, and I never actually reply. And so I'll, like, see a message from my neighbor or something, and they're like, I literally have one of my neighbors we were talking about doing, like, a end of the year cookout, right? With, like, all the neighborhood kids and stuff, and we were talking about what we would bring, like who would cook what, and we'd grill, and this sounded like a great event. And then I was like, oh yeah, and I talked to my wife about it, and I just never actually solidified it. and then he texted me the other day and was like, yo dude, do you want to, like, go for a hike or something? And I'm like, oh my god, I just never replied. I never responded. So if I'm bringing this up to say, if he would have, like, messaged me, this sounds terrible. I don't know if this is valuable at all for you, Fluff. I was just thinking, like, perhaps it's not pestering. It's just a nice reminder for people. Stuff happens. Life is busy. If you're worried about pestering them. It might also just be like, oh shoot, yeah, I totally would love to hang out with you, or I'd be fine to have you around. I just forgot, or I just didn't reply. So anyway, the tomato soup. I haven't had the greatest childhood. I lost my dad in 2017 at 14. Went no contact with my abusive mom in 2020. I was living on my own before I graduated high school. Luckily, my boyfriend was there for me, so I wasn't alone. Man, first of all, I'm so sorry going through that with your dad and then with your mom. Sounds awful. I'm really glad that you have had or have your boyfriend there for all that. Fast forward to earlier this year, we found out that I'm pregnant, which is exciting but terrifying. One thing I'm absolutely sure of is I want to be a better parent than my parents. I want to make sure that my child always knows they're loved and that they matter. I've been really struggling with the idea that I might mess up. Do you have any tips? So, I think you're going to be a great mom. And I think you have a really cool opportunity. It's like what Jake was talking about a little bit ago. I think you have a really cool opportunity to do something different. My friend who passed away, he and his fiance were struggling with a very similar thing. They had some really terrible just stuff that they went through as kids, and I remember they would bring up a lot like, we want to have kids, but I don't want to mess up like my parents did. I don't want to do what my parents did. And I felt like that's just such a colossal step. Like being aware, someone just said in chat, being aware and asking for help on how to do it. I feel like that is such a powerful thing that you did. And it's the exact opposite of what you went through, is my guess. And any advice or tips? I mean, it may be little, but I tell my kids how much they matter and how much I love them and how proud of them I am a lot. And I think just trying your best and I don't know, man. I'm just thinking, like, you said you're excited and terrified. I think, truthfully, like, it's just a lot. Like being a parent is a lot, but you have a really cool opportunity to give them a great life. Any tips or advice that might help? I guess just keep trying to be the best you can be, and yeah, you might make some mistakes, but that's okay. Being honest with your kids and trying. I'm not a professional. Perhaps it's worth, if you haven't already seen any had any counseling or professional, like a doctor or someone to talk about some of the things that you went through. Perhaps that could be helpful. I don't know. But yeah, I think you're going to be a great mom. That's exciting. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, on to the next one. Sorry. Okay. Post from Veer. You. I know this issue is probably not serious as some people, but I've had some bad abandonment anxiety, and something as simple as, my boyfriend visiting his parents for 5 days is hard for me right now. Kiboga responding to chat messages made me start crying. I feel like I have no good coping mechanisms aside from working out and stress cleaning. I mean, working out perhaps is a better coping mechanism than a lot of poor choices people make for coping mechanisms. You know, you said that that's not a serious post. I think this is perfectly fine. I think you're perhaps overthinking it. I'm just trying to be a friend to you there. No, those seem like good coping. My father. I want to make sure I get this right. My father is a recovered alcoholic, and I've seen some. Like you could say, you can find some really bad examples of coping, right? But yeah, I think someone in chat just said it. You are absolutely important. You're absolutely valuable. Recognizing that you have anxiety and abandonment stuff is, I think it's a great thing that you're recognizing it. I think if you want to, my guess is that you would benefit from working through that with therapy, and I mean that's not something that I directly can give amazing advice on, but I think it's you're definitely not alone, and there's some people here in chat talking to you right now. There's some people who replied on the support wall, and it sounds like you're doing the best that you can, and that's great. That's all we can ask for. Both my parents and my brother are recovered as well. Oh, from like alcoholism. Therapy will change your life. I never thought it would. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just think like having, the strength to do this and talk about it and reach out is a huge first step. Like I said before, my wife says this: know better, do better, and I feel like it's a similar sentiment. Is just like working on yourself and taking those steps is huge. What's up, Sid? Why'd your message get deleted? I don't know. It could have been a bot. It could have also been something you said. I don't know. Okay, I think I can do a few more. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through them all. I'm gonna try. But I normally am going to bed around this time. Check the one in. Oh, okay. 1 second. Wait, what? Sorry, I'm confused now. If I make a post, will you still read it? I am going to do my best to go in and reply to these that I didn't get a chance to respond to later. I should not guarantee it, but I'm going to try. Someone said, will this VOD be archived? Yeah, we can highlight it. Sure. Okay. I might have skipped over this one because it didn't say, it did not say Kiboga, so I'm gonna go back in this one. Okay, in August 2017, my fiance died unexpectedly, and I found him. I tried to end my own life a few days later. I ended up in the hospital in critical condition. I was in medical shock, caused heart, liver, kidneys to fail. I've had surgeries. I miss him every day, and I've struggled with substance abuse since his death. The early years after he died were so hard. But I'm really glad there's a but, and I'm really glad that you're here, Lucy. Also, I'm really glad there's a but. I feel like someone's gonna clip that. Say, but a year ago I got help. I see an addictions doctor and counselor. My substance abuse is being treated. I've been clean for 6 months. Let's go. That's huge. As someone who's seen people in my family and some friends go through that stuff, that's incredible. I still miss him a lot. My life has improved so much recently. I got a promotion in my job. I regret the choice I made. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful for Kit, for bringing joy and for keeping a smile. You know, Lucy, I'm glad that I was able to give you a smile. I'm glad that you're here. I'm sure your fiance would be glad that you're here. And sorry, thank you for taking the steps to get better. You know, you hear me say that you're valuable and you matter, and I feel like this is just such a really cool story. Thank you for sharing it. You know, my friend who passed away, he killed himself, and you know, I really wish that he was here. And I'm really glad that you're here. And that's just such a hard, you know, topic. And it's really encouraging, I guess, for me, that you are grateful to still be here, and that you're okay and that you're doing better, because that's just really cool. It's really huge to see. Sorry. I guess part of why I almost brought it up earlier was because I had a lot of those feelings of like, I just would have done things different, you know, had I known. But I didn't. Sorry. Jeez. So when someone earlier was talking about like feeling regret or feeling like they did all these things that were wrong, that was kind of really hitting me, because I felt like I did a lot of things wrong, but it's never the answer, and it's really encouraging to me to hear that. Thank you for sharing that story. But I'm glad that you're growing and getting through that stuff. You can't blame. Yeah, I don't blame myself. It was like I don't know. Sorry, I don't want to make this all about me either. Anyway, that was part of why I was like, gosh, last year I just couldn't, I felt like I just couldn't really do this because after what happened, it was like, I don't know how to get on a stream and go through all this. And honestly, it really has like just completely like just rocked my life and changed so much. I think in some good way. I mean, it's weird to say that, but some things have been really, really, really hard, and some days are still, I don't know. The worst is like, I don't know, there's just like so many days where there's just still days where like I just want to call him, you know, because we were really close, and I know like he would be so freaking proud of some of the stuff that I'm doing. And there's days where like I've literally picked up my phone to call him, you know, and you're like, oh jeez. Ugh. I think that's what I was talking about with Jake earlier, of like, oh my gosh, I had no idea, no clue, like, because people in chat would talk about going through these things, and I would like, I would feel for you, and I'd say like, I'm sorry, but now having like gone through it to some degree, I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea, not even the slightest clue, not even the slightest idea what it means. Anyway. Whew. Gosh, it sucks too, because like, yeah, it's a club that no one wants to join. He was just like such an influential. He's literally the guy that I've told you stories about. The guy who proved to me that I matter. The guy who held up the sign promoting global warming or climate change. Like those stories that I tell you, that's him. That was the sign guy. So it's just like extra sucks because of all that. But okay, thank you guys for the love. So here's another one. Ironic Noodle. Oh, I think you're responding to someone. Okay, thank you for responding to someone. I was gonna say, I know that username. Yeah, I don't know if I should say. Yeah, maybe I'll just say there's some trigger warnings here. Maybe I won't say some of those words. The person who wrote this said some trigger warnings as well. Maybe I'll just read some of it a little bit, and I need to vent and know that someone's listening. Well, I'm gonna do my best to try to listen, and I see some people have responded. This is Lost in Paradise. Am I tired? I mean, maybe a little, but also I was just crying, so sorry if I look weird. Wait, who's... Okay, I'm just not gonna respond to that person. Hold on, 1 second. Why would you write fake tears? It's such a weird thing to type in a chat when someone's crying. It's such a weird thing. What do you think? I'm hoping someone will donate a bunch of money or something? I remember, I'll never forget. Someone just said normalize men crying. I'll never forget I like one of the I don't remember when it was. Okay, I remember exactly when it was. Someone who volunteered to help with the Kitboga stuff. Yeah, maybe you're going through some stuff, and maybe you need a good cry, because sometimes you just need to cry, man. Someone who was a big part of the Kitboga team passed away due to some health issues, and it sucked, and it was hard. And I remember, like the morning when I was gonna stream, like finding out the news, and I talked about it a little bit, and I cried. I'll never forget. Someone like they were like. They emailed me multiple times from an anonymous email, no less, saying how much of a baby I was, and how like they were like in tours in the military and they never cried and all this stuff. And I was like, whoa, they're like, grow up and be a man. And I'm like, what kind of backwards weird situation is it where you think from an anonymous email, like, is the manly thing to do, like, pick on someone for crying from an anonymous email? That's also, like, if you're picking, it just felt so strange to me. And like, why can't a man cry? What's so? Anyway, I think, yeah, absolutely, it's okay to have it's certainly okay to have emotions. That's for sure. Anyway, okay. I need to then know that someone's listening to you. Sorry that I was not listening. I said I was going to listen, and now I'm talking about something else. So I'm going to try my best to listen now. Lost in Paradise. I have CPTSD, depression. It takes all of my energy to survive. I've had to move back in with my family, including my abuser for 3 months in 2020, and it destroyed what I had left. I ended up doing something stupid that year and had to leave university and focus on surviving. Haven't been able to find a good therapist. I miss having friends. I miss feeling happiness. I'm stuck living with another family. I can't find accommodations elsewhere because I'm unemployed. Everything I try to do fails, and I don't know how to get out of it, and I'm losing hope. I found a therapist. This time of year is hard. I found a therapist where I want to move, but I can't get there because of work. I'll stop halfway through here and say that I think I kind of said this once before, Lost in Paradise, but to someone else. But it sounds like you are taking steps the best you can to get through this. You were saying that you feel like you can't, but you sound like a pretty strong person, having gone through all this stuff for years, and still surviving and still trying. I really hope that you can find a therapist or someone. I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure there are some ways, even through heart support, that you might be able to get some. I mean, they were just talking about some of the one-on-one stuff. I don't want to misquote them at all, but I think there might be some ways, potentially through like online sessions. You know, I've heard, I think like just recently there was some, like, I don't want to say, I don't want to name drop BetterHelp necessarily, for the fear of I don't know everything about them. I've heard mixed reviews, but it sounds like if you can find a good therapist there, that it can be done online. I think there's probably other ways to do it online as well, but Anyway, okay. I'm exhausted for fighting this long. There's no one in my life I can trust with everything I'm feeling. My best friend knows most of it, but not all. It sounds like, well, gosh, I don't want to speak too much and say that they are someone that you could trust with everything, but it sounds like that best friend may be someone to talk about some of this, and that you're not totally alone, and we're here. I'm non-binary, and none of my family would support that, so I'm only out to that one friend. He took ages to be comfortable with my pronouns, so I'm scared to even tell him that I want to change my name. I'm scared to tell people, and I'm overwhelmed because that could make things worse. And I'm sorry. It sounds like that one friend is definitely someone that you want to hang on to too, because they've been through you with a lot of this stuff. I think this is just a hunch from what I've seen in my life so far, is that there are all kinds of people who would want to support you the best that they could, whether it is through something like heart support. I've also learned recently that most states and most cities here in the US, I think that there's stuff like this outside of the US as well, have like support groups that you can go to for all kinds of things. They have a lot of like mental health resources and scholarships and grants and ways that you can get help. Unfortunately, it can be really hard to find. You have to like do some searching. I think there's also a lot of groups locally or online. I know a friend of mine was just talking to me about, I thought this was really cool. A friend was just talking to me about how there's even like Discord channels for people who are like trans or transitioning and want to work on their voice and like practice different things with their voice, and so you can like hang out with other people and do that like together, which is super cool. I did not even think of that being a thing. I know that's not what you were talking about, but I'm just giving examples of, there are a lot of communities out there for all sorts of things. And perhaps through heart support or through Reddit or other places, you could find some online things if it feels like it's really difficult for you to get out where you are right now. But yeah, I'm really sorry that you feel trapped. And you said most basic things feel completely overwhelming. I just try to survive. And, I said this earlier, maybe you were here, maybe you weren't. In a small way, in a somewhat related way, I've been there. I've been in some days where I felt like I couldn't get out of bed and I couldn't do anything, and I didn't want tomorrow to happen, or I wanted things to get better, but it felt like it was just impossible to even like get out of my bed and survive, and that can be really hard. But you are absolutely worth it, and there are definitely people who would want to help and be there for you. It might just take some of this, like what you just did, reaching out and trying to get help. So I think that's huge, and yeah, we're here for you. I hope things get better. I think they will. At least that's what I've seen in my life. Okay, I'm gonna try like, there's a bunch more. I'll try to do one more. stay up all night with this? I mean, I might be able to stay up a little bit. I just at some point I'll just fall. What I'm also kind of worried about is I'm going to get so tired that I'll just start rambling about who knows what and saying saying who knows what. Like, if we were just talking about whatever, maybe that would be safer. I'm just worried about Here's the honest. I'm worried about responding to these posts as I get more tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to do the best I can with these posts. So I'm worried that as the night goes on, I will have less to give to the posts, and I will be more like, who knows what's happening up here. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, here's one from Princess Sukami, if I'm saying that right. Kiboga, hello. Tomorrow is the 2nd anniversary of my dad's funeral. Even though it's been 2 years, I feel numb to losing him. Oh, I feel like I'm losing my voice. Majority of the time, I feel nothing, but I've done this to protect me. I've only just started to get hobbies again, back to editing videos and creating art. It took a while to hear for almost 2 years, and I had lost for almost 2 years, I had lost everything I loved. Below is my favorite photo of my dad and me. Those look like really cool, are those like bike bumper? Are those like, I don't want to say bike bumper cars. Those look really cool. I drew this a few days after he passed and made some plushies of them. I wanted to say thanks for reading my post back in 2021, the day before the funeral. It really meant the world to me. Holy smokes, did I really? Wow. Well, I'm glad that I was able to be there then, and I'm glad that you are. It sounds like, although you said you still feel numb, it sounds like getting back some hobbies and some interests. I'm sure your dad would want you to have those things. You said the majority of time I feel like I've done this to myself to protect me. I think I kind of can relate to that a little bit, or I know my wife has gone through some things like that, and I think having a therapist to work through some of that stuff can be absolutely fantastic. I definitely can relate. I am also realizing there is a part of my life where that is sort of just one giant blur, where I feel like I basically just wrote it out of my life, and so I can kind of relate to that. And I think being able to work through it and talk through it with friends or family or a professional is extremely valuable. But thank you for sharing this again. I'm glad that you're hanging in there. Glad to see that you're getting back some of your hobbies again. And yeah, the plushies look awesome. You know, I think someone said this in chat before, and I've heard this a bunch about how grief, what is it? Something like grief comes in waves. I remember hearing that before and being like, yeah, whatever. It seems weird. But then going through some of the stuff I've gone through over the past year or so, it's like, okay, I get that. You know, sometimes it's minor, or sometimes it feels like it's a massive wave, or sometimes it's calm, but it comes and it goes. And I'm sure your dad's going to be a big part of you forever. But he absolutely would want you to be happy, and you got this. You're loved. See you, Brendo. Okay, maybe I can do... Dun dun dun. Okay, here's one from Crow Pro. I know that. Gosh, Crow Pro. One sec. My phone's gonna run out of batteries. I think I have a charger. I do. What's Crow Pro? Okay, Crow Pro says, I don't know where to start. There's a lot. Well, anywhere is fine. I'm a 37-year-old single dad who struggles with major depressive disorder, and every day is a fight just to get to the end of the day. My first wife passed away in 2024, leaving me with our child. Man, I'm so sorry. Like going through that with kids too. I did get remarried and had some more kids. And on a whim, like a switch, she didn't want to be married anymore. We got divorced and shared custody with our 2 kids we had together. Man. Most recently, there was someone who I've known for about 20 years, and there was a bit of a spark, but no chance to really make it work until last year. She was talking about how I'm her person. She visited me. She was going to move here, and then just disappeared. 3 strikes, I'm out. It broke me. I don't know if I'm ever going to find the right person. Man, gosh, I'm sorry, friend. I mean, the 3 strike... This is going to sound really cliche. This is why I'm worried about the late night Kitboga stuff, but 3 strikes are out is like, what, that's like baseball? Not life. But I can definitely get that feeling of like, it just feels insurmountable. It feels like daunting and impossible. I hope that didn't come across the wrong way, seriously, but I can't imagine, like, that would definitely be tough going through that. But yeah, it's definitely not, you don't have to be out if you don't want to be. After this happened, I got into some kind of a depressive rut. The friends who would talk to or come over for game nights didn't really want to deal with me. I've gone weeks without actually talking to someone because I wanted to see how long it would take. When people do reach out to me, it's typically because they want me to do something for them. I feel like, if I could say something, please, again, I hope this doesn't come across wrong at all, but I was talking earlier with the whole thing about, like, you know what, let me be careful. I don't want to come across like I know anything. You did say advice welcomed. Again, you're not alone. It's absolute. I can't imagine going through some of the things that you've gone through. If those friends really just straight up were like they don't want to deal with you type friends, it doesn't sound like the greatest friends. But at the same time, I would also say if you're waiting for people to reach out, I don't know, like a lot of stuff comes up, and like I said earlier, I am like a terrible friend when it comes to texting and communicating, and they might not know what you're going through. They might think you're busy. They might think they don't want to bother you. So I don't know. I guess I typically advocate, whatever. I typically encourage people to be proactive and reach out and try to do things, because how else are people going to know? But I don't totally know your situation. Please, if that's bad advice, like, ignore me completely. But I work from home and I'm able to. I say that because you're worth it, and you do deserve to have some people who actually like care about you and want to talk to you. So, and part of that might just be you getting out there and talking to them or finding them. So, working from home. So I'm able to manage a schedule that works for the kids' school, but I'm isolated. It makes it hard to do anything with a full-time job. Kids, man, yeah. They say you can't pour from an empty cup, but I feel like I'm continuously pouring from empty because I have to. That is like, this is gonna probably sound cliche, but that's props to you. Being a dad, nonetheless. I guess, like, please, to me, this is like, I'm just saying, I don't know about other people, but to me, that's like, in a weird way, this is like hopeful and powerful. You're going through all this stuff, and you still are somehow able to do a job, take care of your child, and do all this stuff. It might feel like your cup is empty, but then you're some kind of a wizard because you're able to do it somehow. And I feel like that's like a part of what I was saying earlier with, I don't know, maybe there is hope. Maybe things always can get better. Maybe we are able to overcome these things, because your situation sounds pretty hard and pretty impossible, and you're saying that you have an empty cup, but it sounds like you're able to go. Now, I'm not saying that that's easy at all, but yeah, I think you're incredible. So started working on projects that keep me distracted. I feel like I need to make something great in order to be worthy of getting care. I don't feel like there's a way out of this, but I'm trying to last as long as I can. Man, I guess I would just say, Crow Pro, for everything that is going on, has happened, you sound like you are a very strong person. You absolutely matter. Please don't forget that you are worth it, and that you should continue to take those steps. If you haven't already, please talk to a doctor. I would talk about this for literally everyone who's posted or anyone listening. I think it's so important to, if you haven't gone to a medical professional, because even if, like, I think I've shared this about my life, even if it is like, there are different medications or different treatments or different therapy for various things. There's also, I was in a period where I was like I described it like a zombie. I could sleep all day and feel like I didn't get any rest. I was very depressed. Everything was very dark, and I found out because my wife basically dragged me to the she made the appointment, put me in the car and brought me there. And I found out that I had hypothyroidism. My thyroid does not function, and my levels were so low or high or whatever it was. Yeah, my thyroid was literal trash. Iconic Nerdle. My thyroid, in like taking synthetic stuff from thyroids, completely changed my life. This was like 6 years ago, 7 years, like right around when I was actually first starting to stream. And like, that was crazy to me because I was like, holy crap, like so many things changed in a matter of months. So yeah, I think, I'm not saying that's going to be your situation, but like absolutely talking to medical professionals and being an advocate for yourself is, I think, very, very valuable. Okay. I kind of feel like my voice is failing a little bit. Also, I was going to go to bed at 10 and it's 10:30, so, or I was going to stop the stream at 10 and it's 10:30, so maybe, maybe it's sleepy time. I'm going to try my best to go through and respond to some more of these, tomorrow. Gosh, there's so many more posts. I feel like I could, I feel like I wish I could tell. I thought I was almost done. There's quite a few posts. Man. Maybe I'll just fly through a couple more. Okay. Late Night says, "Hi Kipoga, my name is Veronica. I feel like I'm 100% alone." Veronica? Ooh, this is bad. I can feel the Late Night Kit. I want to just tell you, well, Veronica, I'm here to prove you're not alone. You're currently not 100% alone, because we're here. I don't know if that's the nicest way to say that, though. So I'm concerned about my my late night. You are factually wrong, though. I want you to know that I have definitely been in the position where I have felt 100% alone, and I think that's why I try to do this occasionally, and why I say that people matter and that you're valuable, because I have definitely been in the position where I felt alone, and I think it's just a lie. That, at least in my experience, there are all kinds of people who have been through things or similar things and who do want to be there for you or could be there for you. Sorry if I sound preachy or whatever, but that's been my experience thus far. Okay. I have no leads on finding a place. No one's helping me. Okay, sorry. I need to move out of my foster home. I have no leads. Okay, you're almost 20. No one's helping me. I tried finding some places, but landlords don't accept disabled people. I don't know where you're located, but I've reached out to help. I've been told you're full grown, do it yourself. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're located, but some of this stuff you're saying sounds illegal here in the U.S. Yeah, Godly 967. Some of this sounds like you might be able to, um, you might be able to get some help and resources from different, like what I was talking about earlier, different state or local funded things. It's illegal but common. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a thing or not common, but there's a very specific housing and development thing. I don't remember what it's called for where people can get like affordable housing and get. I mean, there's definitely laws about this stuff. Oh, HUD, yes, yeah, HUD. At least here in the U.S. I don't know where you are, so maybe where you are, this is not the case. But yeah, I would definitely look into some of that stuff because you absolutely are not alone. There are absolutely people who would want to help you and people who would want to advocate and support you in that. I feel alone and I don't know what to do. My sister passed away in 2021. Oh man, I'm sorry. I miss her. I've been told it's almost 3 years. You have to let it go, and I can't. I don't. It's late night, kid. I think that's dumb advice. I'm not going to be able to let it go of my friend. I don't think you should. I think that's dumb advice, whoever told you that. I don't think I'm being very nice anymore. And I'm concerned about that. I don't think... there's no time scale as far as I'm concerned on grieving, and I think it would be silly to have to let go of your sister like that. So I think that's okay. It's absolutely okay. She would have been the first person to help me, but she's not here anymore. If you do see this or Kit sees this, thank you. We do see, and thank you for reaching out. You are not alone, and there are things, there are resources out there. Absolutely. I feel like I'm gonna lose my filter. That's what's gonna happen. I feel like I'm gonna end up being like, I'm gonna end up saying something. Hopefully it won't be that bad. I do have some hot takes. Hopefully they don't all happen tonight. Okay, Mo Lang, if I'm saying this right. Kipoga, here's a bit of what I'm going through, and you're not alone. I'll share this next one. My name's Kai. I'm going through a depression episode, though these types of episodes are normal for me during the winter. This winter is extra hard since I'm going through a lot, but I somewhat manage. Recently, I keep getting these flashbacks from my ex. Sorry, I'm kind of having a hard time reading this. I apologize. I stayed up all night because of it. I have nightmares of him, and I end up crying when I wake up. I'm sorry. There was a time where he said he'd protect me no matter what. I'm glad I cut contact with him. I would never put myself through that again. Recently, sorry, I'm just reading some of this quietly. Kiboka, thank you for letting your audience share what they've been going through. I think this is what people should do with their platforms. I discovered you on TikTok in 2020. Yo, TikTok. No way. Maybe I can read some of this. I'm just not sure how much you do, or I guess you posted it. So, I just want to say, Molangs, there's a bunch of times that you're saying that you're not proud of, and you can't stop thinking about this to yourself, and you're not proud of yourself. And I guess something that I like, there's this like overwhelming feeling I've been getting from like reading these posts. Maybe not overwhelming. This recurring thread is like, I don't think that you need to constantly beat yourself up. You've gone through a lot of stuff. Can't get away from grief. I feel like everyone I won is being taken away. Everyone I loved is being taken away. Gaming used to be my escape, but now it's Twitch. I go to therapy twice a week, but I'm just mentally exhausted. I know there's not much anyone can do about this situation, but I'm still here, so that's a plus. Man, Terra Bear, I wish that I had really good words for you. It sounds like you've been through a lot of stuff, and I'm really sorry. I'm glad that you're going to therapy. I feel like I would be exhausted going through that. I'm just some of the few things that I went through was very exhausting. But I'm really glad that you're still here and that you're still trying. I think it sounds like you do still have some friends and family around. There's a lot of stuff to deal with. I feel like you sound like a very strong person. Yeah, it's very commendable that you're here and talking about this stuff. Oof. If Jake is right, they have a lot of love to give because of all the pain they've felt. Yeah, if what he's saying is true, it was very interesting. I haven't. What he was talking about isn't something that I've spent a lot of time thinking about. I found it quite interesting. It was kind of the first time that I've heard it worded that way. So, and I didn't want to like say like, I didn't want to say to him like, you're wrong or something. I don't think he's wrong or anything. It was just like like that's very interesting to think about. But yeah, yeah, we're definitely here for you, Tara Bear. Thank you for posting this. Thank you for taking time to care about yourself. No one. Okay, just a short vent at Kitboga. Did you blow your voice out? I don't know. I definitely doesn't sound the strongest that it's been. I think this week, the stream the other day when I was like screaming as Edmund wasn't very healthy. So yeah, I'm trying to be careful about talking right now. But okay, no one. I think what I'm gonna do is there's a few. Oh shoot! Does it automatically update? I keep feeling like okay, I only got like one or two more, and then and then there's more posts. Like I can get through this, but then there's just more posts. And maybe it auto updates every time. That's probably what's happening. Okay. No one. I feel like this is a hot take from Kit, Late Night Kit. I feel like you saying your username is no one means that you feel like you're no one, and you are absolutely someone. And in my short sentence, the shortest way possible, I haven't even read your stinking post yet. What if, I guess no one could be number one. Maybe you just think you're number one, and I won't go off on this whole. I'm just going to read your post. Okay. Whew. I've been suffering from depression and anxiety ever since I was a teenager. I'm in my 30s, and I feel like it never gets better. I've been unemployed since I graduated, and at this point, I know I'm a lost cause. I just sleep all day and stay up all night. It's 4:30 a.m. here right now. I don't have any ambitions. There's nothing I want to achieve, and I've lost hope. I'm doing something unsafe, which is I'm not going to continue reading it for the time being. I feel like you maybe do have some ambitions, and maybe you haven't lost all hope because you're here right now, and you're feeling like there could be something more, right? Like it's just a hunch. It's just something that I am picking up on. You said that there's nothing, there are no ambitions, there is nothing left, there is no hope, but you are here now at 4:30, or I guess that was an hour ago, so maybe you're not even hearing this anymore. You reached out. You have already, I feel like there's already some hope here, and you already do have some ambitions of like, no, I don't think at all you're a lost cause, and it sounds to me, maybe I shouldn't be doing this again. I'm not a trained professional anyway, it sounds to me like you might not believe that either because of the things that you're saying. But a few years ago, I started to use drugs and alcohol sometimes. I hate that the little money that I have goes to drugs or booze. I don't know what to do with my life. I kind of feel like I don't have a future. I'm so grateful for Kit and his community. I found Kit about 3 years ago. Kit's stream has helped me through some dark times, and the community helps me look forward and a reason to go on. Thank you, Kit. Okay, that's way too stinking kind. I don't know. Maybe I will go off on my little tangent that I was going to go off on. There will never ever be someone who is like you. I wanted to talk about this earlier with Jake, and this is going to sound so dumb. If Lucifer's still here, he's going to be like, what the heck is Kate talking about? He's going to make fun of me. But when people say that they're nobody and that they don't matter and that there's nothing, that they're like nothing of value, I just feel like, I don't know. I always go to, he's not here. Okay. Now Boogie's going to do it. Should I be blue? I don't know. I will never ever. There is no way. Oh gosh. I can already feel this is going to be like a 20-minute conversation. But there's no one that's ever going to be like you. The experience you've had, the year you were born, the family that you did or didn't have, the situations that you have or haven't been in. You are in an incredibly unique opportunity right now that no one else will literally ever have. In this universe, at least. Someone's saying, Kit, you need sleep. I think about this even when I am completely sleep filled. So I don't think this is me just losing my mind. And I think that's I don't know, I guess I just think that's really interesting. I think that's really valuable. Like, you said that there is no future, there's no hope. I mean, I don't know. I think that there is all kinds of opportunity out there to do something. Whether it's starting with this and taking a small step to reach out, that's something. There are, gosh, I feel like I do feel a little bit like I sound like I'm crazy, but there are so many places online that you can reach out to or get involved with. There are so many communities. There's so many places that you can get involved with. Places you could volunteer at. And to people saying, I saw someone before in chat saying like, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't have purpose and I don't have meaning. And I say it at the end of my videos sometimes or my streams, like I hope you have a chance to pursue something that you find meaningful or something that you have passion about. Because I think that's in a way how you do find meaning and how you can have hope and have a future. And I think that the way to find that, at least how I've experienced it, is to just go out and do stuff and try stuff and like take chances and make mistakes and get messy. Like, I don't know how the heck else you're going to figure out what you want to do and what ambitions you're going to have unless you do stuff. Like, that's why I have ranted before about how I hate the college system here in the US, because you're like, hey, 17-year-old, decide exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life and go into significant financial debt while you do it. It's like the stupidest thing ever. Because, like, how the heck are you going to know what it is you want to do for the rest of your life Yeah, before your brain's fully developed, well, you've done basically nothing. You've literally done nothing other than like learn random crap at school. It makes me pretty mad because it's like, wait, shouldn't you be? I feel like you should be. School should be giving you a bunch of internships or like paid work opportunities where you just like go shadow different places, where you go, I don't know, see what it's like to be a lawyer for a week. So like I have a friend who's one of their kids is going to school to be a lawyer, and I was like, we were like half joking one day, or we were thinking about like, oh, what if like partway through going through that, all of a sudden you're like, I don't really want to be a lawyer. And now you've spent like I, just so you know, I changed my major 3 times. I don't think I've ever said this on stream, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. You ready? You want to hear a secret? It's not really that much of a secret. I changed my major 3 times and I never actually graduated. I had no clue what the heck I was doing with my life. I spent like 6 years in college. I went I jumped from multiple major to major to major, and then I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I just quit. And I was programming at the time, and I just kept programming. Because I constantly was like crippled with this anxiety of like, I have to make the right choice. I have to know exactly what I want to do. And it was like, this is insane. So anyway, yeah, that part of my life was very, that's a lot of college spent. Yeah. So fortunately, I said 6 years. I think I was wrong about that. Let me math in my head. I think it was only about 4 years. I don't know why I said 6 years. Yeah, fortunately it was a very cheap school. I wasn't going to like a fancy school. I was going to like cheap state schools. But anyway, that's why I'm always like, man, you gotta try stuff. And that's why a lot of times on the stream I'm like, oh my gosh, I dropped out of networking 101 because I hated it, and I wish I would have. I'm like, man, kind of wish I didn't drop out of it, because it would have been very very useful today for what I'm doing now. But you know what I thought? Okay, here's more Kitboga late night stuff. I can't share. Okay, this is just too much to share. It's too many bombs to drop on you guys at one night. So the point is, I changed my major. I changed my life trajectory so many times, and now look at me. Look at me now. I don't know. Now who knows what I'm doing? So all this to say, this was a very long conversation to say that I think there's a ton of opportunity out there. I think there's a lot of things that you can do and try, and it's okay if you don't have it all figured out. But, I got 5 minutes. Okay. Do you have plans for after Twitch? Like for after I turn the stream off? If my wife's still awake, we'll probably. I bought. Is it how do you say it? Baldur's Gate. And we've been playing that a little bit, but I don't think that she's still awake, and I can't really play it without her because we're too invested in the story. You guys told me to get that when it came out, and I was like, I don't know. Baldur's Gate, am I saying it right? Honestly, we played it for a handful of hours, and it was very fun. It's definitely, I'm very, very impressed with that game. And it makes me just want to play Dungeons and Dragons again, though. Anyway, I'm pretty confident that she's asleep though, so I will most likely listen to a book and then go to sleep. So, okay. I imagine that's not how you were that's probably not the question that you were asking. Stream it? I probably won't. I'm just not I don't know if I'm really a game streamer. I've tried that life. I've tried to stream some games before. I'm just, I don't know. I think it takes a different set of skills. Why not? Cuz I don't know, like if I'm going to play a game, I don't know how to explain it. Cuz like when you're streaming, there's some I don't know. I'm a like honestly, the other thing too, like if you guys haven't noticed, like even like the stream that we're doing right now, or the conversation, like me talking about a few minutes ago when I was talking about how you are completely unique and blah blah blah. Literally the books that I read and the podcasts that I listen to at night are about psychology and philosophy and like theology and mythology. Like I've been listening. Hold on. I was reading someone's most recently reading this like what would you say? It's like a it's like this really long book, this scholarly book about how the concept of sin has changed historically throughout 2,000 years or whatever. Like that's just what I do for fun, and I think is really, really interesting. I'm not like naturally just this entertaining guy who like wants to sit around and make jokes. When I stream and when I hang out with you guys and call scammers, like I have fun, and I find myself like doing improv and stuff. I find that really fun and entertaining. But then when I'm playing a game, or if we were talking about that type of stuff, I don't feel like I suddenly don't feel like I'd be that entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys who are here right now, you might stick around and listen to me ramble about whatever. But like, you know, typically, I don't know how many people are here, but the chat's usually moving a little bit faster. So and from previous experience, I imagine that it's not the, you know, the typical numbers, which is totally fine. But yeah, that's kind of like, if I were to stream, I don't know, whatever. I'm just rambling about nonsense now, but we'll see. Someone said, "What are you gonna do after Twitch?" My guess is you meant like after you like I quit streaming or something. I really don't have any plans to stop streaming. I think that I will probably continue to always make some kind of content and probably stream in some form. But my guess, the most honest answer to that question, someone just said in chat, there are some really part of like being online and streaming, you have to like be on, if that's the word. You have to like that's why I was saying sometimes it was really hard last year when my friend passed away, because I have to be exciting, and you have to be happy and be entertaining. And now there's days where I don't feel like, there's days where I do not want to stream, you know? But most of the time this doesn't feel like a job, and I want you to understand I am so blessed and so honored that I'm able to do this, and you guys have supported me so much. So I hope it doesn't sound like, you know, but there are days where it's a job, you know, like I have to turn on and be entertaining, and I have to give the people what they want, and that can be really hard. So I think or my thought or my hope is that at some point, the plan after Twitch, assuming that I can continue to do this for a handful of years or wherever life takes me next, my hope is that I can just get on stream and just do whatever, and if that means there's only 5 of you here, cool. We'll just hang out and do whatever. I'll just make videos about whatever. And I'm kind of trying to do that in a way right now. Like some of the videos and some of the Twitch streams haven't been exactly what, I know there's some people who don't want me to explore Facebook scams. They want me to just, call Steve again, as if that's possible. But yeah, I think I just slowly would shift towards you know what? If I don't feel like calling a refund scammer today and I want to code the AI, then I'm gonna code the AI. I think that's where I could see myself going. The tricky part about that is, right now there's, I have a family and I have a business and we have Seraph and employees and I want to continue to do these things and do what I think is good work and that does take money to be able to pay all of the employees and keep all these things going. So there's this weird dichotomy between just being able to do whatever and also sorry, I'm just ranting about nothing now. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about anymore. But this is Late Night Boga. All that to say, you guys have supported me a ton, and I hope it doesn't sound like that I don't feel supported or anything like that. So, I am not going to be able to get through all of these. I thought that I could. Okay. I will try my best to go through and respond to your posts later. I should go to sleep. Thank you guys for hanging out. I don't know about a part 2 tomorrow. I did not have plans to have a part 2 tomorrow, but perhaps there's some things I gotta prep before some of the holiday things. Trying to get another YouTube video out before the holidays. One quick thing, I actually should check if it exists though. Hold on. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. Okay. We're also working on getting the I would just say look out for this if it's something that you're thinking about. We for Seraph Secure that you guys have heard me talk about for the software we've been making. We're trying to release a standalone version that's just a scan that you can run on grandma's computer to find if Screen Connect client and those different things are on her computer. It's not like a automated thing. It's not software that's running in the background. It's just a tool to find out. So if you're traveling for the holidays, you can run the tool and find out oh, was TeamViewer on grandma's computer 3 months ago? That's important to know. Currently the standalone tool, there's just a few more things we have to do to get that released, so that might be released tomorrow. Otherwise, shameless plug for the software, you can get a 2-week free trial. So when you're traveling for the holidays, I feel like a sales guy. I hate feeling like a sales guy, but guys, we poured a year into this thing, and it is, yeah, I think it can really help. So I shouldn't feel bad about plugging it. But anyway, if you haven't already checked it out, seraphsecure.com, and if you are traveling for the holidays, I highly recommend you run it on like your family's computers, because there's a scan option, and it will show you like if 6 months ago grandma installed TeamViewer or Screen Connect client or whatever it is, and that's, I think, really useful to know. It can also take it off of her computer for you, which is also really useful. Anyways, appreciate you guys. If I don't see you before the holidays, before Christmas or whatever it is you do or don't celebrate, I hope you have a good time. Know that you're valuable, that you matter, that you're not alone, that there are people that care. Thanks for sticking around during this different stream. Whatever it was. Yeah. I'm gonna... Oh, this is a good jam. But yeah. See you guys. Take care. Bye.